welcome to Chris's Beer Reviews. How are you all? Hope you're doing really well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Get involved in the comments. Be civil, but get involved in the comments. Say hello to each other. So next to me, I have Barry from Barry or the Beer, no idea.
Are you, Chris? How are you, man?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yes, not bad. Hello to anyone watching as well.
There are people watching. I think, doesn't Simon normally go live at this time of day on a Friday as well?
So, yeah, something like that. I think there's a couple of people live, but
yeah. What, B would be, wouldn't it? Doesn't really matter. It's not a competition, is it? So it doesn't really matter, does it?
You'll have to run through the comments, Mon, because I can't get comments on my screen here.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll go through those. That's all fine. What I will get out early doors is if my signal drops out, my whole Wi-Fi would drop out and you'll be on your own until I get it reconnected again. So I just put it out there now to everybody. My Wi-Fi does drop out. So if it drops out, you'll be left with Baz, but you'll be in good hands and I will come back.
But you'll have no chance of answering you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm out in my beer shed, as you can see, and my beer shed is at the end of my garden. And this Chromebook is literally running off the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi box is in the house. So it does well to come this far into the garden, but occasionally it drops out. And if it gets really bad, I'll just take the laptop indoors and sit indoors. But it's showing a really low signal at the moment, so we'll see what happens. Let's hope it doesn't, but we'll see. We'll see. So what are you having to drink at the moment, Baz?
I am on the Beer Monster machine, and I've got the Weidman Hefeweizen.
Nice.
You get 5 litre mini keg from B&M or something, 15 quid.
Oh, that's a bargain.
And it's all right. It's all right, to be honest. It's not the best Weizen going, but yeah. It's pretty good standard quality stuff. What are you?
That's all right. Can't argue with 15 quid. I'm drinking at the moment a Das Keller Pils. There it is. The light just reflecting on it. So I picked that up at the Crate Escape. So it was an off license that I was at last weekend, where they sell a lot of beer cheap. Some of it is close to itself, used by date, and some of it isn't. But it's just obscenely cheap. And that video has been crazy for me. My little channel that video's gone crazy. So thank you to everybody that's watched that. So that came from there. It was cheap as chips. I think it was a box of 24 for like 20 quid or something ridiculous. Cheap as chips. But it's good beer. It's not bad.
I'm glad I wasn't there, mate.
Seriously, you know, I only spent 64 quid in there, but I came out with 60 odd bottles of beer. It was silly. Absolutely
you can't go wrong, can you?
No, you can't. So, but yeah, anyway, what we are doing tonight is we're going to be reviewing the Mackeson Stout. Now, this is a 4-pack, but I have to be honest, Baz, there's 2 missing.
Well, I had a 4-pack, and I thought I put all 4 in the fridge, and I haven't drunk any, but I only seem to have 3 left. So whether I gave one away to the daughter when she was at home for a bit, and I can't remember, I don't know, but I will be caning the 3.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't had one. A friend of mine came around ages ago because we've been planning on doing this video for months, haven't we? Absolute months. So a friend of mine came around a while back and he's like, "Oh, I like a Mackeson's." Like, well, I can't say no. So help yourself, have a couple. So he did, but I didn't. So we'll get to that. Let me run through the comments. Go on.
I always remember my mum drinking it. So
yeah, it's been around a long time, hasn't it? It has been around a long old time. So let's have a look at some comments and then we'll get on to doing some beer reviewing. Christopher Boys, good name. Good evening, Chris and Barry. Hope you're well. We are both well.
Chris.
Thank you very much. Thank you. David Wilson, how are you? Hope you're well. Hi, Chris. Hi, Baz. Hi, all.
How are you, David?
And here comes another David. David from I've Had Worse. Evening, both. Evening, David. Hope you are doing really well and hope Madam Director is doing well as well. Andy K says a good evening.
Evening, Andy.
I've got to turn the heater down in here. I'm starting to boil. I was really cold earlier, and it wasn't particularly cold in here, but I've just shattered. And you know, sometimes when you're shattered, you just feel a bit cold, don't you?
Yeah.
Now we're live and the heater's on. I feel quite warm. So
don't go snoozing on us.
Well, we're not going to be falling asleep on the ABV of Mackeson. No, not on Mackeson, we won't. Definitely not. Scott's in. Evening, Scott. How are you? Evening, Chris. Congrats on the 1,000, mate. Well deserved. Thank you very much. So, yeah, I have just tipped over the 1,000 subscribers today, which, you know, we can sit there and say, oh, I don't really care about what my channel does, but we do. And yeah, I generally do with views and subscribers. You know, we want to see it grow. Of course we do. And it's still a bit of fun. I still enjoy doing YouTube. It's still a hobby, but yeah, we have to admit, we do like to watch the numbers. So yeah, to tip over the magic 1,000 is fantastic. So thank you to everybody that follows the channel. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed to the channel recently. It means a lot. So thank you very much indeed. And thank you, Scott.
Well deserved, mate. Well deserved.
Tom's in, the crummy beard. Oi, oi, you lovely sausages. Oi, oi. How are you, Tom? Hope you're well. Sorry I missed you live earlier. I was a little bit preoccupied. Northern Summoner's in. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Oi, 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 oi.
Tom Boy's in.
He is in. Hope you're well, mate. Scotty saying, evening, JB. Thoughts on Metallica album? Yeah, what are your thoughts? I do like Metallica, but I've never bought one of their albums. But when you have a device like Alexa, I just play random tracks on that. So yeah, I haven't bought an album for a long, long time. A few years, I'd say, since I last bought a music album. A long, long time. But yeah, because when you've got Alexa, she just plays what you want most of the time, doesn't she, really? So what about you? Do you buy music?
I haven't bought music for a long time. Not for a long time. I've got flight cases full of bloody CDs that I won't get rid of. And every now and then, well, normally when I get a new phone, I end up putting all my songs on it and what have you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I used to download a lot, and then I stopped doing that once I got an Alexa. I did stop downloading, but I love music. Music's quite a big part of my life. I've always got music on every day, especially when I'm cooking dinner. I love putting certain types of music on to cooking dinner, having a beer while I'm cooking dinner, and I'm off. I'm just singing away cooking dinner. It's always been quite important to me, music. But yeah, I don't actually buy it though anymore. I don't know whether that's right or wrong. But
do you make bread at home?
Do I make bread? I used to. I haven't made bread for a while, actually.
I was just wondering if you have the Hovis theme when you're making bread. where you're making it.
That would be funny. Yeah, I've normally I start off with Dream On by Aerosmith.
Yeah.
When I first start cooking dinner, that just gets me right in the zone. And then anything sort of rock based, and occasionally a Metallica song will come on or whatever. And yeah, I'm well happy when that happens. Andy K, JB. JB fell asleep listening to it, mate. Massive Wagons are the boys. And there you go. Chris Boys is saying, evening, Scott and Wonders World. Hope you're well. Northern Southerners saying hello to Andy. Massive Wagons were awesome, JB. If they are on tour near you, mate, you have to go see them. I was battered. Good skills. Christopher Boys saying, evening to Tom. Very good ABV for 2.8%. Is it 2.8? I'm guessing it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm not a big fan of 330ml cans, but it is a good looking can, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
I don't think they've changed it, have they, really? Not from what I can remember. It's always looked like that. But I'll tell you what I saw on the side of the can, what's rather interesting.
Go on.
Brewed in the UK, AB InBev UK, but it also says InBev Belgium.
Not really.
So I was quite surprised that AB InBev own it.
Yeah, they own a lot, don't they? I didn't know they owned it, but then I don't drink it and don't pick it up, so I wouldn't know. But what I do know is it's nice and cold, and my head is boiling.
Well, mine's been out of the fridge for quite a while, but it's still got that little bit of a chill on it, I think. So
yeah, it's got a nice chill to it. It's not super cold. Scott is saying hello to Christopher Boys. How are you, buddy? Evening, Reese. How are you, mate? Hi, boys. How do's? Northern Southerner said he's been listening to Massive Wagons for a couple of years, Scott, and they review beer on the YouTube. The Beer Monkeys, I think they are called. Well, there we go. Someone else to have a little look at. The Beer Monkeys.
Plenty of beer monkeys about.
Yes, certainly are. Chris is saying, I'm good, thanks. Been at work, got 4 days off now. out on the drink tomorrow. Nice. 4 days off. Now that is a treat, isn't it? I must admit, I haven't done many days this week. I had a long week. But yeah, I'm knackered. I've only done, I think, 3 days this week, and I feel shattered.
You've done more than me.
Good evening, boys. Just enjoying a Guinness Foreign Extra Stout at 7.5%. That's a good stout, that is. I've got a couple of those in, actually. I'm probably going to review them at some point. I have got that in. I'm sure it's the Foreign Extra. Sure, that's the one I've got. Got it in Sainsbury's in like the foreign food aisle. It was in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure it's that one. I need to review that. I'll have a look at Beer Monkeys, mate. I did see they brewed a beer with a Lancaster Brewing. Yeah, we'll have to have a little look at them. Yeah, yet to try that. Triggered IPA. Ah, Thomas is in. How are you, Thomas? Nice to see you. How are you? Lord's Brewing Co. What the? What is that meant to say?
I think you're saying well done. But
I think they're meant to be emojis, but they've come up as words, haven't they? Yellow smiling, it's the yellow smiley emoji. A trophy, yellow smiling emoji. Trophy, yellow yeah, they're emojis. Why haven't they shown up as emojis? That's strange. Very bizarre. Is that how it looks on your screen? Have you got emojis or have you got words?
No, I've got exactly what you've got.
That's very bizarre. But thank you, John. I don't believe for 1 minute he sat there and spelled those out. Surely not. Surely.
Well, if he did, I'll tell you what, he's dragging his comments out, and he really.
Wow. I've never seen that do that before. I've never seen it do that before. Thank you, Thomas. That's very kind of you. Scotty saying, JB just found Beer Monkeys. Brilliant, mate. Cheers for that. Yeah, I'll have a look at them as well. Well done, Chris, on 1,000 subs. Thank you very much. And no worries, Scott. Let's do this comment and then we'll crack open this beer, shall we?
Why not? Yeah. Soon get rid of that.
Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Yeah, let's finish these and then we'll do it. So Christopher Boys is saying, had a few at a gig with Wanda last night, so having a night off. Very nice. But sometimes it's good to have a night off the beers. I've done that once this week. Well, twice, I think. Had any beer.
I'm saying nothing.
Sometimes it's good to have a break. It's weird watching beer content with no beards. Absolutely. No, I've got no beard and no hair.
Well, there isn't a much here, is there really?
I was looking at myself earlier in the camera before you came on, and I was thinking, my right eyebrow looks huge. There's more hair here than there is on here, I think. I was like, that really looks massive.
Well, you're all right, Chris, because it's a small screen, so I can't see it. Everyone else can, but I can't. So you're all right.
Very good. Love that. Have you finished that beer? Or are you still going?
Give us a second.
I'm not rushing. I'm not saying finish it. I'm just saying if you have.
Now.
Oh, well. Should we have a look at this Mackeson then?
Let's have a look at the Mackesons. A review that's been waiting for how long?
We've been waiting very long.
I reckon it's been about 6 months, you know.
Oh, it's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be. The amount of times we've discussed it and said we're going to do it, and then we went and bought it.
Well, you bought yours before mine, didn't you? You bought yours a while ago, I think.
I think I did, yeah. I think I did. I can't remember.
I've had mine about a month.
Oh, we've had them. No, you must have had them longer than a month because you told me you'd bought them.
That was about a month ago, that was.
Oh, really?
But then you bought yours way before mine, and then I think we even discussed it before then. I think there was talk about. I'm certain.
Oh well, they're still in date.
Well, yeah.
August 23.
Mine are all right then. Well, January 24, mine. I'm all right.
There you go.
I'll be lucky to see 7/24.
Oh, hang on a minute. We've got a visitor. What can I do for you, Leah?
Can you tell me where's the
Put it in the oven.
not ingredients?
The what? The cooking instructions.
No,
Leah, what is it you're asking me here?
how long it's supposed to be in? Oh, found it.
Do it in the oven. I did mine in the thing and it didn't come out well. All right, do it however way you want.
Get some Aerosmith on while you're cooking it.
Yeah, when you're in there, ask Alexa to play Dream On by Aerosmith. It's a great
Get in
tune.
the zone.
Oh, and feed the cats.
No.
Thank you. There we go. I mean, even when you have your own man cave, they still come on in. How do I cook this? She knows how to cook a pizza.
Hey.
Kids. Anyway, I'm going to put mine in this lovely little Imperial Stout glass. That's a Sam Smith's glass.
Yeah, I've got that one, and
It's
you're
not-
going more proper, aren't you? But for me, I always swear, and it's probably just me, I always swear I remember seeing beers like this in the old
Well,
Dimple.
You probably would have done. I'll tell you what I did pick up, talking to Dimples. I picked up this in a charity shop the other day. This time, it's not even a half pint Dimple.
I got a little one as well.
Yeah, I think it's not even half a pint. But it's fantastic.
They're
I
cool,
love
aren't they?
Yeah, really, really cool. I like that. I could put it in that, actually. I'm going to put it in that one. You're right.
Good.
Let's
Good
go
man.
old school. It's an old school beer. So, I think everyone knows the stout we're reviewing, Baz, but I'll let you introduce it.
All right, then. Me and Chris are finally looking at the Mackeson Stout, coming in at 2.8% ABV. And it's just little 330ml cans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I paid £4 for 4 cans. I think it was I paid.
I can't even remember.
And
It's so long ago.
I think that was quite cheap. I've seen them for about £5 for 4 cans, and that's what always put me off.
Really?
But yeah, this is what we're looking at.
For a 2.8% beer, £5.
I know, yeah.
In a 330, and it's an AB InBev. Well,
Yeah.
There you
A
go.
4-pack, though. That was a 4-pack.
Yeah. All right, let's crack on then.
Let's crack them open.
pour
Get
this
them in
little
there.
bad boy out. Sounds very fizzy.
I can't hear nothing.
This glass is so small, I can't even fit this 330ml can in it. I can't.
Well, I'm going to have a bit spare, so.
I'm going to have
There we
to turn a light on in here so I can see it properly, but it's probably going to make my face go super white if they turn on. That's not too
Look at
bad.
that.
That's not too
Looks
bad.
like story time with Chris now.
Now I can see it. It's
There we go.
it's pretty dark, isn't it?
It's
But it is
pretty-
in this light.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of like a deep sort of chestnut colour to me. See, it looks like, but that could be the light in here for me as well. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't see much in terms of colour because of the lighting in here.
I don't think it's jet black anyway.
I'm going to be really geeky and put my torch on it and have a look.
Do it, Mon. Do it.
There's some red coming through the bottom. I mean, even with a light on it, it's still quite dark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a dark one. Looks all right, actually, doesn't it?
Looks all right. Look, nice little head, isn't it?
A 0 head, really, in mine.
Well, I've got about a finger, but I've just topped it up again. So, and it's got that old school head on it as well.
Yeah, mine's just not got a head. It just hasn't got one. Well, it has, but it's not what I'm talking about. Let's have a sniff then, shall we?
You have a sniff and let us know what you get.
That smells rather pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of roastiness to it, a little bit of chocolate to it.
That's nice.
Yeah, it smells all right, that doesn't it, actually?
Bit roasty, a little bit of coffee. The chocolate was the first thing that I picked up.
Yeah, chocolate I get. A bit malty.
There's that little roasty coffee in the background.
Yeah,
I do get it.
Bit of roasty malts. A little bit of chocolate. There's a bit of sweetness as well.
Yeah.
That's all right. Smells all right.
Good.
Let's have a taste. Cheers.
Let's have a taste. Cheers, pal. And well done,
Cheers,
mate.
pal.
Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, blimey.
Well, that's cheeky, isn't it? That punches above its weight for 2.8.
I'll tell you what, yeah.
That's what it does, doesn't it?
That
I wasn't expecting that.
I'll tell you what, I'd bloody straight away. I'm going to say I'd push the boat out and say I'd buy that again.
Yeah, I would. I'd definitely buy that again. I just got to read JB's comment because I always remember my grand's false teeth dropping in a glass of Mackeson. Superb, absolutely superb. It actually is right. That's not bad.
It's light on body, but you'd expect that, wouldn't you? But even for 2.8, that's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, for 2.8, I think it's actually got quite a good body for 2.8. It's a bit like I don't know, I'd probably aim more towards a porter, sort of a 4.5% porter than an outright stout. But, it is dark. I was expecting it to be quite brown, light brown. Well, not light brown, but darky brown. But that is really dark.
Like I say, I think that's a dark chestnut, real dark sort of chestnut. I think there's a little bit of red in there, if you like.
I mean, the only way I'm going to find out is to go and open the door and go and stand by the door, because the light I've got in here, it just looks dark. So yeah, it could be a bit brown ale looking, I suppose, but in my light, it's really dark.
I'll tell you what, though, 2.8, that's a good body.
Yeah, it's a good body for 2.8.
It's a light beer, but you've got to expect it at 2.8. But it's a really good body for 2.8.
I was expecting that to be really, really thin, but for 2.8, I know we keep saying 2.8, but it is a good body, and it has got roasty malts to it. It has got a chocolate sort of vibe to it. There is a very slight element of coffee to it. There is a sweetness to it. There's quite a lot of flavour in there.
The flavour in that is the big thing that really gets me. I'm actually a little bit wowed by it, to be honest, for what it is.
It's definitely a surprise. And the aroma in the glass is now better than it was. Yeah,
I'm certainly getting a bit more. Yeah, really getting the coffee on the back end, that roasty bitterness.
It's got a nice bitterness. Yeah, it has got a nice little bitterness to it. I would absolutely buy that again. Absolutely would.
Real malty.
Pardon me. Very carbonated.
Yeah, a little bit sweet. You get that chocolate in there. The chocolate's fucking amazing for what
it is. Yeah.
For what it is. And then the back end for me, you get that roasted. Well, you sort of get the chocolate with the roasted malt in the middle.
Yeah.
And then for me, you get that little roasty coffee bitterness on the back end. But I think that is an immense beer for 2.8%.
And when my friend was round and he drank a couple of cans, and he was telling me about it, and I was thinking, yeah, whatever. I was thinking, yeah, of course it is. And he did say, he said, you will like it. And he said, I can assure you, you will like it. And he's not wrong.
No,
he's absolutely not wrong.
When you look, right, let's like we're saying about the price of things and what have you, right? 330ml craft beer cans in shops, supermarkets, are what, 180?
Yeah.
All right, you can get 4 for £6.
Yeah.
Right. And then I've had God knows how many beers that have been 4%, 4.5% that don't even touch that.
Yeah.
And yet we're moaning, or as I mentioned, £5 for 4 cans. Before that we were being ripped off.
I know. Silly, isn't it?
Beneath that, there is actually a quality beer.
And it is. And it's an AB InBev.
Well, they're not all shit beers, but you know.
No, they're not. They're not. I mean,
but that is a very decent beer.
Yeah, I suppose when you look at the amount of AB InBev beers that have been on the PD, but some of those are absolutely cracking. Some of the Leffe's on PD have been fantastic, especially Leffe Ritual 9. What a beer that was. That's AB InBev. There's many a good AB InBev beer on the PD.
Yeah.
So yeah, we shouldn't knock them completely, but there are some good beers out there from them.
That is a massive surprise. I mean, like I said, it surprised me just the fact that it was AB InBev.
Yeah, and it is a good stout. That is a nice little stout. I'm going to open the second can of it.
I'll tell you what. We talk about alcohol-free beers.
Mm.
Well, if you're not all right, I understand you shouldn't drink and drive. Understand that. But to be honest, would you really be doing yourself any harm having one of these?
Oh God, no. Absolutely not. You could have a couple.
And you actually get a proper tasty beer.
Yeah. If you were on driving duties, you could have a couple. 2 of those would not be an issue.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. And you're getting a nice tasting beer.
That's decent. That's decent.
I'm surprised. I like it.
Yeah, I am. I'm surprised because of how good it is.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris, it's the new emojis. StreamYard a bit behind the curve. Well, there we go. I think they are a little bit behind the curve, John. I think you're right there. JB is saying, "Oi, evening, Baz. Didn't see you there, mate."
Hello, John. That's very,
I'm sure he did.
Well, yeah, maybe. You know what John's like, didn't you, on a Friday?
Oh, exactly.
15 pints and, in bed by 7.
Yeah, he's probably done a few reviews as well. And you're right, David. It is a very classic design on that can. Yeah. It's a good-looking can.
It stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is a good can. I like it. And I like what's inside it.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm so surprised by it.
So that has cost... So I've paid £4 for these. So that has cost me... Well, £1 a can, isn't it?
Yeah.
£1 a can.
Yeah. Yeah.
My brain was working overtime then to try and work out £4 between 4. I can't believe it.
It's because you're looking at 3 cans. That's probably what's
Yes, that's the problem, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Simo's in the house. Simo, how are you, mate? Hope you are.
How are you, Simo?
Isn't Mackeson's just brown water near enough these days? Well, no. I was expecting it.
Surprised.
Yeah. I was expecting it to be brown water, Simo. I think you probably got the gist that we think it's more than brown water. Get some in, Simo. Give it a go.
Absolutely. That is worth a try. That's worth a try of anyone's money. If you don't like dark beers, it's maybe not going to be your thing.
The only bit that I don't like about it, I generally like it all, and I buy it again, is there's a bit of a sweetness to it that kind of gets you here, kind of in the back of the cheeks, that I don't overly enjoy. But the rest of it,
I like the sweetness to it.
Yeah, see, I don't. That doesn't suit me.
Okay.
But
it's all right. I'm getting interrupted as well.
Yeah, that's where it goes, isn't it? Love it. They just love it. Love a little interruption. I think my wife's going out, so I should be.
My interruption's about 30 years older than, well, probably 20 years older than, no, 30 years older than the one that you just had. No, yeah. His daughter coming.
You're trying to say I'm old.
No, not at all. Yeah, my son's gone out, so I doubt we'll still be live by the time he comes back, which will probably be a good thing, because he's out. He's in the pub, and I think Rachel's going out tonight. Apparently, so Leah tells me. She said Mum's going out. So, oh, okay, I didn't know.
I should have got more cans in then.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know she was going out, unless Leah's got it wrong. But
it's in the cupboard.
It's in the cupboard.
Yeah, by the gravy, babe. It's all right.
Not a problem.
Oh, carry on.
Evening, Neil Long. How are you, mate? Thank you for popping in. JB is saying he loves a Mackeson. Takes me back to a time of Anderson Shelters, Messerschmitts, Lancaster Bombers, and Vera Lynn. Yeah, I like that.
Now wrong with a bit of Vera Lynn.
Not wrong with that. CJ, not going to matter with your gulps, Chris. No, you're right. My gulps seem to be quite legendary on YouTube with the gulps I take of beer. I've always done it. No matter what I drink, I take big gulps, whether it's water, tea, coffee, beer, fizzy drinks, whatever. Always done it. Yeah, my grandmother always used to say when I was a kid, God help us when he gets old enough to start drinking beer. Just gulp everything. She wasn't wrong.
It's a good job you're sensible, though, Chris, isn't it?
Absolutely. Know your limits. Drink responsibly.
I'm saying nothing again. I'm going to leave that promoter to you.
Looks well in the glass. Yeah, it does look good in the glass, Simo. Get some in, Simo. Review it.
Yeah.
You'd
If
be
you like
surprised.
it, if you like a dark beer, Simo, give it a go.
Yeah, definitely.
For
Give
what
it.
it is, it's got to be respected as a
Yeah.
a well brewed beer, really.
Yeah. Makes good gravy. Yeah, you probably could make good gravy with that.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, that'd be nice, wouldn't it, with some beef or something?
Cool, wouldn't
JB
it?
knows his beer and food, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I use beer in cooking, and yeah, I could. Yeah, I would like a slow beef stew or something, cooking in a slow cooker. Chuck a couple of cans of that in with it. Boom.
Yeah. Don't put any water in, just put the beer in.
Absolutely.
God, mate.
Easy. That's the big gulps.
Yeah. Be aware it's well carbonated. But saying that, I am 3 cans in now.
It is well.
Well, they're down.
You're on the third, didn't you? It used to be 3%, according to David from I've Had Worse, which is a great channel. I've Had Worse. Dropped in 2012. Mackeson Triple X. Ah, that's right. There was a Mackeson Triple X.
Yes, I've seen that somewhere as well. And I'm
Yeah.
certain I saw that abroad. And I thought
will
about
be
picking it
abroad.
up, and I didn't.
It is abroad, isn't it? Well, that says on that comment, doesn't it? The Crib Brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a Mackeson's
Yeah.
Triple X that is out in the Caribbean. That is 4.9%.
Well, that's probably where I saw it, actually. I think that
Yeah.
was while I was on that cruise.
Oh, yeah, you might well have done, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to get hold of that. The 4.9% version of it. I bet that's cracking. I can imagine that is cracking. Scott is saying hello to Simo. Evening, Simo. And John is saying Mackie's always reminds me of my late father. He was an amazing man and could get drunk on a shandy. Cool, well, that'd be a cheap night out, wouldn't it? Cheap night out, getting drunk on a
There you
shandy.
are. I'm keeping up the tradition.
Yeah, absolutely. But he was an amazing man, which is lovely to hear. JB is back with another comment. Stick a bit of beef stock and corn flour in it. Great on a bit of roast beef. Yeah, you're absolutely right, JB. I've done that with stouts, and I'll do it with this. I think it's a great little stout for a bit of gravy. I like that idea a lot. Is your missus still causing carnage in the room?
Yeah. She's gone to look at the gravy, and now she's coming in with food and showing me the food she's got me. Like I'm going to sit here and eat it.
So if she's making gravy, give her the rest of your Mackeson.
Well, she ain't making gravy, no. What it was, the mother-in-law come round and bought us. She picked up Swedish meatball gravy from Aldi's or something. They do it in the tub now.
Nice.
So
fair enough. I tell
she
you what, great.
obviously messaged my missus, and then
Yeah,
missus has just come in and pestered me to find out where it is.
fair play.
What didn't tell me what she brought me.
So yeah,
She
see,
said she brought me 2 presents.
well, there you are.
Well, there you go. Happy days. I tell you the gravy I do like. I don't know if you've had it. It's KFC gravy. I do like.
Yeah.
I love KFC's
Oh,
gravy.
yeah, if you have a KFC, you'll have the gravy in you.
Oh, you've got to have the gravy. That's a cracking little pot of gravy, that is. I do enjoy it.
Sometimes, though, I don't know what it's like where you are, or whether you go to the same KFC all the time, but sometimes I find it's a little bit hit and miss. So sometimes it's sort of nice and thick
Yeah.
or middle of the road, and then other times I've had it and it's been like bloody piss, to be honest.
No, I've never had that problem. It's always been good.
Tastes the same. Don't get me wrong, it still tastes nice when it's like piss, but you put your chip in, you know what I mean? It's come off before you've even got it anywhere.
Oh, no, you can't have that. It's got to stick to the chip. It's got to stick to the chip. Simo was saying, how was your gig the other night, Scott? How was your gig the other night, Scott? And I think Scott says, he loved it. The 7 pints didn't agree with me, though. 7 pints. Yeah, 7 pints are always going to be, things are going to start getting messy at 7, aren't they? Generally.
It depends on how strong they are.
Yeah, well, that's it. That is true. If they're not strong, then you're just in the toilet peeing constantly. So you're either ruined or you're in the toilet constantly. Tommy's saying, I've had worse. I'd love to try the Carib. I'm sure it's not great, but would be an experience. I reckon it'd be good. I'd like to give it a go.
It'd be interesting to try it after having this.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? It'd definitely be worth a go. I don't know. Maybe there's someone that'll import it. Who knows? It might end up in Sainsbury's in the foreign food aisle. You never know.
Yeah.
Oof. Not surprised. Says Simo. That's in comments in relation to Scott's comment. I've had worse at the Crummy Beard. Have you tried Dragon Stout? I've had Dragon Stout. Have you had the Dragon Stout? Yeah, that's a tidy stout.
I had that in the early days, that one. Reviewed that in the early days.
Yeah, I can't remember if I reviewed it or not. I may well have done. I don't know. There's many beers that I review that I never put the video out. I sit here and turn the camera on, but then I don't put the review out. So I may have reviewed it, but just might not have put the video out.
Yeah.
Or I might have done. I don't know, but I liked it. I did like it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
On 75, I think I paid for it.
Yeah, it's not an expensive one.
But it's a bit smaller, isn't it, the bottle?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's something like I don't know, some weird size, isn't it?
275.
Yeah, something like that. Or
It's definitely not
might
a
even be
250.
less than that, I think. I think it's something like 273 or bloody something stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's a 250 bottle.
Yeah.
And I just trying to go from memory. This feels smaller than the Dragon Stout, but I think it's definitely not 330. It's definitely 270 something.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. But it's a good little stout. Definitely a good little stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do need to get your hands on it, Tom. Get yourself another bottle of it. It's a tidy beer, that. The Crummy Beard, Tesco, sell it, mate. The world of food aisle. Absolutely. I guess we're still talking about Dragon Stout, which, is always in the world food aisle.
A quick shout out to Simo. I'm just wondering if he's feeling nervous for a couple of weeks' time when Man City take on the Mighty Blades. Oh, Sheffield United.
In what competition is that?
The FA Cup semi-final.
Sheffield United are in the semi-final of the FA Cup.
And
Blimey, it's diluted.
We knocked Tottenham out.
It's a diluted trophy, isn't it? The FA Cup now. No one plays proper teams anymore, do they? Unless they're in the lower.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that. We beat Wrexham over 2 legs, I'll have you know.
One of the greatest competitions in the world, diluted. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
diluted.
know. These big clubs like Man City coming in with all their dodgy owners, you know.
I know. Shocking, isn't it? Absolutely shocking.
Oh, here we go. Southampton's coming in for a bit of abuse now, isn't he?
Certainly is. Reminds me of the pension queue in the post office, the smell of stale Mackesons, deep heat and mothballs and piss.
I take it you don't want to visit my house, then, John?
Oh, brilliant. But yeah, post office queues. Do they still exist, post office queues? I remember when I was a kid, I used to get dragged into the post office and you'd be queuing for freaking ages. Do they still exist, post office queues? I haven't been in one
They
for...
probably do.
I bet they do. They were ridiculous, the post office queues. They used to... Oh.
I know they did 10 years ago, but I'm going to say nothing about that. That's a different... We're not even going to go into that subject, but there was a queue there at the time.
But yeah, what a great comment. I dig it out, Simo. Our local Tesco's looks like a Soviet horror story. John is saying, Baz, I got to get you up to the brewery and might need some help with decorating at the new bar. Ever considered?
Absolutely, Mon. Absolutely. I've got to get up there anyway. Just go to that bloody off license.
Yeah. Well, I was chatting to John about this the other day, and I said, "You're not far from him, really. You're only 2 hours away from him." I looked it up.
Well, yeah. Is it 2 hours? 2.5?
Yeah, I just googled Oswestry to the brewery, and it's literally just over 2 hours.
Well, that's not too bad, is it?
No, some just quick drive in the morning, that, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as the traffic's good.
Yeah.
The wind's behind you.
Yeah, you could easily drive up there and back in a day. Easily.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You should.
I wouldn't advise it, though. Not after the 7 pints, anyway.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I wouldn't advise it because you're going to want a couple of beers, aren't you? So, but it's not far for you.
No.
Sticking through the nitro surge. The Mackeson through the nitro surge won't do anything for it because there's no nitrogen in the stout. So it will actually just give it a massive head. So if you want a big head, it will give you a big head. But I've had great fun with that nitro surge device. I've run so many different nitro beers through it, and it's been fantastic. So much so, I don't know if it's within reaching distance. I've got to show you because it would just be funny if I can remember where I put it. Oh, I found it. I found it. I've reviewed this beer before, and I don't like it. I didn't like the normal version. I didn't like this nitro version, but I bought it because I've got to run this through the
It's got
night.
to be John Smith's, surely.
Oh, it's worse than that.
Is it worse than that? Oh, Carling Break. Did you buy that in the bloody place the other day?
No, I bought this from a local Nissa near me
Oh, right.
because it's a nitro, and I thought I can't stand it. But I thought I've got to run it through the Sturgeon device. I've just got to. It's just got to be worth it for the comedy value. Whether I review it through the Nitro Surge, I don't know, but I've got to put it through it because why wouldn't you? Just for shits and giggles. So I might review it through it. I might not. But
Drunk loads of that when that first come out. As soon as it hit the pubs, everyone was like,
yeah.
dive on that.
But why do you want a lager super smooth? Lager shouldn't be creamy and super smooth.
I was younger then, you know what I mean? We're talking about when it first come out. I think it was 4.8% then, I think.
I don't know what it is now. What is it now? 4.7.
Oh, it hasn't gone down much then, has it?
No, but I just thought it's just got to be amusing. Just run it through the Nitro Surge and have a laugh with it. That's what that device is about. It does make some great beers, but it's also about just having a bit of fun with it.
Oh, that's it. You bought it, didn't you? So.
Absolutely, might as well use it. Simo says, I've just bought Leffe Royal Whitbread Golding for the PD. Never had it before, so curious to try it. Can't be any worse than the Magic Rock Orange Stout. That is rank.
Oh, he didn't like that. I haven't seen that video yet, Simo, actually. But
no,
it looks like...
Simo, do it. Have you reviewed it then, Simo, the Orange Stout on PD? Because that hasn't popped up on my YouTube.
Yeah, he has reviewed it. Yeah.
Oh, I'll go and have a watch of that.
The Whitbread Golding, I reviewed that.
Well, did I watch it? Actually, I think I did watch it. And I think I left a comment. Oh, my memory's bad. My memory is absolutely shocking. I can't remember.
I thought it was quite decent, to be honest. I enjoyed it.
There was no way I was taking a punt on it. I have issues with orange stouts, and I wasn't taking a punt on that. I tell you, if you want an orange stout, I've reviewed this. I haven't put the review out yet. This is probably one of the best orange stouts I've had, which is from Blue Monkey.
Right.
Chocolate orange stout. 4.9% ABV. That is one of the best chocolate orange stouts I've ever had, by far. So if you do like chocolate orange stouts, go and check out Blue Monkey Chocolate Orange Stout. That is very, very good. Very good indeed.
I'm not a fan of chocolate orange, really. So
yeah,
I found it nice. Probably just suited my palate, maybe. But
yeah, maybe. Well, we all taste things differently a lot of the time, don't we? Taste is subjective anyway. So yeah, whatever. David says, I worked in a hospital years ago. This was given to a patient to help build them up. Really? A Mackeson Stout to help build them up. Wow.
Bloody hell. I can't even get an email or a phone call off the hospital, never mind the bloody Mackesons.
Imagine that. About years ago, you could smoke in hospitals. Years ago, doctors prescribed cigarettes.
God, how times have changed.
For you. Yeah. The sweetness is in the lactose. It is a milk stout after all. Is it? Oh, shit. There's still some in there. I didn't realise. Is it?
I don't think I was aware of that.
Does it say it's a milk stout, David?
You don't you get sweetness, but I wouldn't say it's a lactose sort of sweetness. But
oh, he's absolutely right. There is lactose in there. There's also caramel in there.
Yeah, you saying that?
Yeah.
Get the caramel. I wouldn't say it's a lactose sweetness though, but if it's in there, it's in there, isn't it?
Barley malt, sugar, lactose,
yeah.
Caramel.
Yeah.
This is why everyone should watch David from I've Had Worse. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, he's probably looking at the can.
Yeah, he's probably got it up on his screen. The whole breakdown of it. I didn't know it was called a milk stout, though. I can't see
anywhere on there, does it?
I can't see the words milk stout written on here, David.
No.
But I'll take your word for it. Take your word for it. You know your beers, David. I'll give you that. There you go. There's lactose in it. That'll be what that little sweetness is. There you go.
Doesn't taste like a lactose sweetness, though, does it?
No, it doesn't really, but it is. Imagine years ago if you drank this and you suddenly spawned udders and turned a funny colour, no one would know you were lactose intolerant. Yeah, fair comment. Fair comment. Square Table Degenerates is in the house. How are you, mate? Cheers, Chris. Congrats on the 1,000, homie. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Yeah, it's nice to get there. It's definitely nice to get there. KFC equals kids fattening centre. Very true. Everything in moderation, Square Table. Everything in moderation. Always nice for a little treat for the kids to have one. But yeah, I like that. Kids fattening centre. It is though, isn't it, really? Same as any of them, really, isn't it? McDonald's.
Yeah. It's like anything, isn't it? You know, I think a lot of kids' lifestyle is different now anyway.
Yeah, it is.
They don't seem so, how can I put it, athletic, shall we say? Yeah.
No, they're not though, are they?
I'm not trying to say they're fat. I'm not saying that. But what I mean is that years ago we went out and played. We went on a bike. We played football. We walked the streets even. If you like.
Absolutely. Yeah,
but
I
now,
agree.
You know, it's a different, and that's just how the world is, isn't it?
It is. It's different generations, and that, you know, this generation are all grown up with amazing technology and everything else. And my daughter said to me the other day, she said, "Why do people just walk around the streets?" I said, "Because that's what kids used to do." Because she sees other kids doing it when we're out and about. She's like, "Why do they just wander around?" It's like, because that's what kids do. I said, I used to do it. When I was growing up, where I grew up in London, it was known as street raking. Where are the kids? Yeah, they're out street raking, you know, and we'd do it all day long, and have a great time.
But go out at 9 and get back about 6.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, then they had things like Ataris, the Atari 2600, where you play football with a square ball, and they were fun. But we were just outdoor kids. We'd play the Atari if it was raining. But I suppose if technology was the way it is now when we were kids, we'd probably be addicted to it.
Yeah, we'd probably be the same.
And can we really criticise it when we're doing what they do? We're doing it right now. You know, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because if it wasn't for YouTube,
because we're old and we've been healthy for 40 years.
Yeah, kind of go with that.
Well, healthy for about 15 years, then it all went downhill. But
but then I don't know. I suppose, you know, if it wasn't for technology, we wouldn't have met. Lots of other people wouldn't have met. So it does have its positives. There is a place for it. It absolutely has its positives, but there are definitely some downsides to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a place for everything. Pretty much.
Absolutely. Mark from the Craft Beer Hub says, congratulations on the 1,000 subs, Chris. Thank you very much. And if you haven't heard of the Craft Beer Hub, come give him a sub. Mark's a lovely guy. I met Mark last weekend up at Lord's. First time I've met him. I've been on lives with him. First time I met him, and he's just as much a gent in person as he is on a live. I really enjoyed our time up there. It was fantastic. David Wilson, Baz, did you get a reply on the ESB from Tiny Rebel? There's a great question.
Funny enough, actually, it's mental. Right, here we go. Hang on, bear with me. Oh. First of all, yes, I got a reply. Right. Basically, the reply was an email saying, thank you for your order, blah, blah, blah. And it said that I was getting 2 cans of ESB sent out. So I think I said to you in a message, or commented or something that, or I might have just said it on a video that 2 cans were going to be sent out. So I would just review it again.
Yeah.
And review it sort of, if you like, as a bitter. And then if it's still the same, just review it as the beer, like, innit?
Yeah.
Well, the following day I had another email, and I didn't look at it properly, and I just thought, oh, it's like, oh, they're sending this out or something or whatever. Didn't take any notice, but it was actually from DPD saying that your order's coming.
Right.
They turn up the other day, and they hand me this package, and I'm like, the fucking hell is this? Because you know what cans of beer are like, don't you? And what they come in and what have you. But this thing was like really odd. And what it turns out they sent me wasn't 2 cans of beer. I got a better deal, really. Was 2 brand new tiny Rebel bar runners.
Oh. Oh, they are good bar runners. I've got that bar
I'll tell
runner.
you what, they're massive, aren't they?
Yeah, it is. It's a great bar runner. It's good quality.
But
I've had mine ages. I bought mine because I like Tiny Rebel's artwork. I don't rate their beers,
Yeah.
but I like their artwork, and I like the bar runner. So you didn't get 2 cans of ESB. You got 2 bar runners
I
instead.
got 2 bar runners, which what are they? About 15 quid each.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
So I spent 20 quid with them, and £5 of that was delivery.
Yeah.
I've still got all the 4 beers. Well, 2 of them now, and the glass. And then they've obviously paid to send me out 2 of these, which
That's
is
nice.
probably the equivalent of about 35 quid if you add in the postage.
Wow. Well, there you go.
So, yeah, I've not lost out, but I would like to have another one of the beers just to see. But I think some people have said they do describe it on their website as like real dark and that. But
Oh, really? Fair enough. Oh well, you got 2 decent bar runners out of it.
yeah, well, that's it. Yeah. Because I've only got like about 30 anyway, so you know.
I know. I was just thinking, where are you going to squeeze them in?
You know what I've got? Well, I've got about half a dozen under a shelf
I know.
here that I haven't even used.
We'll have to
Never
do some
mind the ones that are on
rotation.
the shelf.
Let's have a bit of rotation going on.
I know, yeah.
David makes a very, very, very good point about the milk stout, and yeah, I think that is a very good point. That the thing that looks like a lighthouse, which isn't, is a milk churn, and it is, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it is a milk stout.
Well, there you are. There you are.
Yeah, and that's what I
God,
love
then you
about.
ain't a smart art.
Yeah,
Eh?
that's what I love about beer. It's all good fun, isn't it?
To be
learned-
honest, I'd never looked at it.
I didn't
Thought
really.
it was a lighthouse or anything, to be honest. But
I'll tell you what I saw in my head. If I thought it was anything, it was like a castle off a chess set.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I saw.
Yeah,
I didn't look at it in great detail. I just saw a castle off
Yeah.
the chess set.
or
So,
a pawn or something. All I saw, like say, chess piece. That was it.
so there you go. We have been well and truly educated. So I appreciate that, David.
What we should do, we should bugger off
Yeah.
and get I've had worse on and leave him to it.
You come on, David. You are more than welcome anytime to come on. It'd be great. I think he has Wi-Fi issues, but I think I've spoken to him about it before. But you're always welcome, David. Always welcome. Hey, Baz and chat. And so Mark saying hi to
Hiya,
Baz.
pal.
And John is saying, Simo, I feel better knowing that fat blue smiling face, blue smiling. We've got the emoji problem again there, John. We have got the emoji problem again there. What does he feel better knowing anyway? That's Simo. What do you feel better knowing about what Simo said? I know you're talking about Man City at some point. Yeah, sorry, John. I still haven't got those emojis up. I still haven't got them. Shark Home Brewing is in the house. How are you, Shark? Hope you are doing really well. Hope you're having a good day, Kev. David Wilson is saying hello to Kev from Shark Home Brewing. I need a wee, Baz, so I'm going to have to let you chat for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And this looks like quite a good comment to talk about. So I'll go and do that, and I'll be back.
Okay. What we got here then? If I had a smartphone in bloody hell 1986. No, absolutely true. Absolutely true. I don't think it's I just think it, because we didn't have it, we done different things, didn't we? And I do think there's a limit to what you have your kids online for and what have you. I think when you're older, you've got more control over it. And when you're older, you're not a kid. So, I think kids need to be getting out and playing with their friends and experience more things and what have you. So, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. But I don't think it's a bad thing though to get your kids off the internet and that. And to be honest, we could all do with some of that anyway, couldn't we? We could all do that. Trust me, I know. I spend half my time on YouTube myself, so I know that, you know, it's not always good. And like you say, I guess we just sort of, it's part of life nowadays, so we just do it, don't we? It's not just YouTube either, is it? We Facebook and all sorts, really. So yeah. Well, I can't see the comments, so you lot talking. All you can do is just comment on this, and Chris will see them when he comes back. But yeah, let us know what you're drinking. Let us know if you've had this and what you think of it. Mine's nearly all gone now. So Chris will be back soon to carry on with the live. I can tell you what's coming up to the channel, if you like. I can't tell you what's coming up to Chris's channel, but I can tell you what's coming up to mine, which is pretty much just lots of beer reviews. But there will be a few more Perfect Draft reviews coming up as well. I've got the Kirsch Christmas that I'm going to put in the PD Pro and re-review that at a different temperature. I'm going to take another look at Hertog Jan, because I reviewed that early on when I started. So I'm going to take a look at that again. And then I'm going to take another look at Left Whitbread Golding, which is one Simo's got. Reviewed that very early on as well. Did like it, but I'm going to try it in the PD Pro, different temperature and that, and see what we get with that. So yeah, that's what's coming up for my channel.
Fair enough.
And now Chris is back. It's very hard when you can't see the comments, Mon.
It is, isn't it? And you do it on a phone, don't you? So
yeah.
You could see them, but I think on a phone it makes it very difficult to see the comments for someone else that's doing the stream. So yeah. I'm sure you did well filling in the space. My PD is no longer on the bar. It's being sent back to Beerhawk for repairs.
All right.
Finally got around to getting that sent off back to him. It's coming up to 2 years old, and the compressor's gone, and the screen on the front has gone, just completely gone. I mean, when I say the compressor and it's gone, it just keeps trying to work all the time. You pour a beer, and then for an hour afterwards, literally every minute it starts powering up again. And then the screen indicator on the front just gave up. It just stopped telling me how much was in the keg. It was just completely blank. So they said, yeah, send it back and we'll fix it or send you a new one. So,
well, they should get it sorted.
Absolutely. I just want to pick up on Square Table's comment. If I had a smartphone in 1986, I would be addicted to them as well. I can never yell at my kids for being online or playing games because I'm on YouTube like all the time. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it, really? Because I generally don't watch TV. I watch YouTube. And I watch just an array of things on YouTube. I don't sit there watching beer reviews. I watch all sorts of random stuff on YouTube. And yeah, I suppose if your kids are doing it and you're doing it, can't comment on it. But
I think the difference
I can go out for dinner with
when it starts taking over your life, just being on the internet and doing stuff, that's when it's a problem. And I think when you're older, you've got more control over yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone does.
Yeah,
we all spend too much time on it, but kids, once they get sucked into something, it's very easy for them just to.
Absolutely.
And we've all.
Yeah, that I agree with. But then my daughter, she FaceTimes her friends a lot. In fact, every day she FaceTime her friends, and some of her friends do actually live. Well, they don't live anywhere near us. So you think, well, that's fair enough because
absolutely.
But back in the 80s, we'd have done the same, but with a phone with a long curly cable on it.
Yeah. So, I think the thing is really the big issue is if you're like, kids sitting in their bedroom 12 hours a day playing games, isn't it really? And that being the only thing.
I agree. Is no good. That I do agree is no good. But
there's a lot of different directions you could go with this, isn't there?
Of course there is. Yeah, absolutely there is. But I know I can go out for dinner with Rachel and we'll sit there and we will talk. We won't sit there across the table staring at phones. But if you go out for dinner you look at the amount of couples that are just sat there with a mobile phone in their hand, just going through their phones. You're like, why have you bothered coming out for dinner?
Yeah.
You've come out for dinner for a nice evening. You're both sitting there staring down at your phones.
Yeah.
Talk to each other. So
And
yeah,
I've probably been guilty myself of that as well at times.
yeah.
So
I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it? If my phone beeps and I get a text message, I don't feel the need to look at that message straight away. As you know, Baz, sometimes it's been days I've replied to you.
Yeah.
Absolute days, because then I do forget. But some people, they've got to look at it instantly, and I think, why? If it was that important, they'd phone you. If it was an emergency, you'd get a phone. So yeah, I can ignore messages, but sometimes I then forget that I've had the message, and then 3 days later I look at my phone and think, shit, I didn't reply to Baz.
Yeah. I think I spend more time on my phone at home because even though I'm on my phone at work at times, there's a lot of times I just leave it in the van.
Yeah.
So if you like, I don't do so much in the daytime, but evening time is when I do me catching up and shit. And what have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
that's fine. Sharky saying, Chris, the 1000 beer reviewer, indeed. This is a name I've not seen before. Friar Joseph Brew Review. Howdy. How are you, Friar Joseph? Thank you very much for tuning in. Does that mean you have your own? I wonder if he's got his own channel then. So Friar Joseph Brew Review, have you got your own channel? If you have, I will have a look at that. Not a name I've seen before. So welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like that. Always nice to see new faces and new names, or new names at least. Cheers, Baz. Nice bar runners. They are nice bar runners.
they are, yes. Yeah, they are nice. They are massive. I'll tell you what, they cost a bit to what bloody post them things would.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
They're
I like
worth the money, aren't they? If you bought one, I would say.
Yeah, they are. They're actually really good quality bar runners as well. I mean, mine actually isn't on my bar at the moment because I've got a load of Belgian and German bar runners on my bar at the moment, but I do kind of rotate them around a little bit. And I've got my Tring Brewery bar runner on my actual wall here. I put that on the wall. And there was a reason I did that, because my stool kept hitting the wall and it was marking the wall.
Protecting the wall.
Yeah, and it was really pissing me off. I was like, I've not long decorated this and I'm now scraping the wall, so I put a bar runner on there. So Johnny's saying, I'm not the only one to make a terrible chocolate orange beer. I don't think we need to talk about it anymore, John. I think everyone knows all about Sunset Cocoa. I think it's a difficult beer to do. I really do. But there you go. There you go. A lot of people got lazy during the shutdown. Yeah, people did get lazy. I'd agree. Absolutely. Friar Joseph is saying, in Bavaria on Sunday, I'm going to kill the Weiss beers. Oh, good man.
Good man.
Bavaria on Sunday.
You know what? If he's going for a Weiss beer, I'm going to have one.
You crack on, mate. Very nice. Off to Bavaria. I wish I was going as well. That would be very nice. Red Devil, how are you? Thank you very much for tuning in. Good evening, guys, and good evening to you. Are you having a beverage, Red Devil? What are you having a beverage?
He'll be on the beverages. Don't worry about him.
I bet. Square Table says, we used to call each other at work on the work phones. The bosses hated that. Yeah, I know.
Red Devil actually lives very close to me.
Oh, cool.
So we're possibly looking at doing a live or something, or meeting up at Stonehouse Brewery.
Well, why not?
So that could happen sometime in the future.
You know, why not? And if you live near people that you've kind of connected through YouTube, then why not meet up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Meet up and have a beer. Calling each other at work on the work phones. Yeah, I tell you what bothers me now is at work is everything is email. And I get emails and think, why have you emailed me? By the time I've replied, we could have picked up the phone and had a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, back in the 80s and the 90s, it wasn't Bob Hoskins that used to say it's good to talk. He used to do the old BT advert.
Good to talk, yeah.
Yeah. Kids are great at it. Kids chat on the phone all the time. But adults, no, it's text messages and emails. And it drives me nuts. Emails just piss me off. I think, why have you emailed me that? I had one woman that used to sit in the same office as me and would email me. I'm like, and I'd stick my head up and I'd say, Vicky, I'm right here. What are you emailing me for? Why are you doing that? Come over. Let's have a chat. It's good to talk. Oh, yeah, I think emails.
You didn't say that as well, did you?
I
You
did.
didn't go full Bob Hoskins. It's good to
I did.
talk.
We're full Bob Hoskins on her. Well, it's good to talk, yeah? Come on over. I don't get it. Why email someone that's sitting in the same room as you? I just think that is just
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
true.
Absolutely ridiculous. They drive me nuts. Way too many emails. How are we supposed to hook up after work? Beers. Yeah, fair point. Get on the phone. Ring people. What are we drinking? Just opened a West Coast double dry hopped IPA. Oh, good man, David. A collab between Lerwick and the Garden Brewery. Oh, that sounds like it's going to be a cracker. Love a Westie. Very nice, David. I love that. I'm still finishing off this Keller from when we originally started. I've still got that going.
Get it down, you mum.
Get it down, you son. Get it down, you. Fry Joseph is saying, I noticed there are a lot of collab beers. Had my third collab beer today. There are a lot of collab beers out there. And what is your third collab beer today, Fry? What are you drinking now then? Square Table, whenever I try to get away from the phone, it blows up with messages from the wife and kids. Yeah. Ignore. A lot of the time I do. I just ignore messages from the kids because the kids can send me so many. And I just think this is nonsense. Sometimes I've missed a few things that are a bit important, but I think if it's important, phone me because I'm more likely to respond to a phone call than I am a text message, especially if I'm at work. So, whatever. Whatever. Whatever.
You get an old teenager on us now.
Well, I know. Whatever, fam. Whatever, bro. Isn't it? Friar Joseph, yep, just a month on YouTube, heading to Germany for a German beer review. But that's the way to do it.
Oh, yes.
That's the way to do it. Set up a beer review channel and go to the country where the beer is. I like that. I like it. I'll have a look at your channel and everyone's watching.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, go and have a look. I'm going to have a look, Friar Joseph. Oh, that's for sure. Red Devil was saying, piss off, Baz. I'm on the Hasseröder.
Oh, he's on the Hasseröder. That's it, because he can't handle the Wild Western from Stonehouse. So I've heard.
What's Hasseröder? That's low ABV, isn't it?
Well, yeah, 4.9.
Oh, is that? It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
He was on an IPA from Stonehouse the other week. He met up with his lad, I think he said, in the brewery. And he said by the time he left there, he was pickled. 6.5% beer.
Oh, fair play. Fair play. Now he's saying Baz is a good bloke. No agendas. That's the way it should be. Couldn't agree more. No time for agendas.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, all I've got time for is good people, good laughs, and good beer, and having a bit of fun. That's what it's all about. Square Table is saying we used to use Work Messenger to talk about people, all in good fun. Yeah, done that. We've all done it. David Wilson is saying ours used the messenger within Microsoft Teams. Hate the childish nature of the emojis and abbreviations they all use. Yeah, my kids aren't too bad at abbreviations. They generally don't. There's generally a reason for that. Is both of them are dyslexic, so they don't do all the whole abbreviations because for their mind that's quite difficult. So they do type proper normal sentences, which is quite nice. But so many kids do just abbreviations that I have to Google it sometimes to think, what does that abbreviation mean? Look, I'm gonna have to go and Google it.
And you're like, what the?
Yeah, just
you're like WTF, aren't you?
It's like, what? Yeah, WTF are all these letters on my screen? What the WTF are all these letters on my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. I have to go onto Google them and find out what they are. It's crazy, isn't it? I'm going to open another beer.
Good man.
So I'm going to disappear down into the fridge. I can pretty much probably tell you what beer I'm going to get out of it. It's probably going to be a Camden Hells, I reckon. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Camden Hells.
Well, I'm going to bang the lights on in here, so it's a bit dark.
A bit
I'll
dark.
lighten it up a bit.
Well, let me just move this stool back around. Smash it into the wall, as you can hear me doing. when I was up in Huddersfield last weekend, I was out with John and his missus and the kids. We went to this lovely place. I think it's pronounced Haworth or Haworth. And there was a shop that sold. What terrible English that was. That sells signs, tin signs. Let me just grab this one. I loved it. I'll show you it. I had to have it. It's going to go on the outside of my pub shed this weekend. I'm going to put it up outside. But it's a great little northern saying.
It's a pub.
It's a pub.
Quality, that.
It's a pub.
Quality.
Yeah, I loved it. So that's going to go on the outside of the pub shed. I love that.
You need to put a post up in your garden with that pointing to your pub shed. That's what you need.
That is a really good idea. So,
I'll let you clear it with the wife.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I literally took up to the tip a couple of weeks ago some sort of strange wooden pole that was here from when we moved in, and it would have been perfect for it. But we took it to the tip, and now you're right, that would have been immense on it. Took pub. Thought it was a great sign. Good took pub. So yeah, that got me outside.
What beers did you get, Chris? Because you said you spent 64, didn't you, in that place?
Yeah, I bought 2 cases of Camden Hells.
Okay.
I can't remember how many there were in a box of that. 12, 660ml bottles. Bought 2 cases of that. I think it was 20 quid. So 24 bottles or 25 quid. 660s. I bought a box of this, which I think there's 20 in there. And I bought that mystery box that had 20 beers in it. So there you go. Yeah, we're up to 60. And there were some great beers in that mystery box. Some great beers.
Yeah. Like I said to you, apart from 2 beers, I think everyone has been on PD.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it's got to be an AB and Bev box. Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be really. I had this one last night, the Victoria, sorry. Belgian blonde, 8.5%. That was quite nice. There was a triple Carmelet in there. I've drunk that. That obviously is a great beer. There was that little bottle of Leffe Ombre. That was all right, to be fair. But yeah, there's still some good beers in there. There's a bottle of Quack in there. There's a couple of other good ones, a couple of good Hertogs. I mean, 16 quid for 20 beers and 4 gifts.
You can't go wrong, can you?
Absolutely silly. 2 glasses, a tub of Jollop, a tub of, what's it called?
Pate, I think, wasn't it? Or whatever. What's it called?
Oh, what are these things called? Jam type things. What they call pickle.
Oh, yeah.
And then the bar blade as well. The Corona bar blade.
Green one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Which is actually really decent quality, that is. Can't go wrong. The 2 glasses were great glasses as well. So can't go wrong, can you, for that sort of deal, wouldn't you? Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
To be honest, with the beers you got in there, them beers are worth, if you're being tight, they're worth 2 quid a shot, aren't they?
I know. Yeah.
They're worth 2 quid a shot every time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, yeah, you have to, with that shop, the Crate Escape, you have to play the game a little bit in there, because some beers are very close to their use-by dates, and some are past their use-by dates. But they've got a lot of craft beer in there. Well, they've got a lot of Magic Rock beer in there, which a lot of that was well in date. There was some Brewdog stuff that was well in date. But if you hunt out the German
stuff, it won't matter, will it?
No, the Belgian stuff won't matter. But if you hunt out the German beers in there, they're always well in date. Well in date. Like the date on these is, I say well in date. The date on these Kellers is August 23. So, there are some
4 or 5 months, and even then you're going to have a couple of months after that, really.
Well, exactly. So if you play the game in there, you can pick up beers that have got a really reasonable use-by date on them. And like I say, some of them are nowhere near it. All those beers that came out of that mystery box, they're all well in date. A lot of those got 2024 on them. So it's just about being careful in there and just having a little look. have a wander around, have a peruse, look at some dates, and you'll pick up some cracking beers. Absolutely cracking beers. Amazing little place. Well, it's not little, it's quite large. Fryer is saying the hotel we're staying in brews their own beer. Oh, that sounds immense. Hotel that brews its own beer. Be my third time in the town. Great beer the hotel does. Joseph's Brauhaus and the hotel. That just sounds quality.
Right, Joseph, go away. You're making us all jealous.
There you are, mate. You're making me proper jealous.
Sounds quality, that does.
I love that, and certainly going to have a look at his channel once we come off this live. Go and check that out. Square Table, we have Teams, Zoom, Skype at work. The federal government cannot get their act together. And there's certainly so many different varieties, isn't there? This is kind of cool. David Wilson has put in Friar Joseph YouTube channel's a link. So go and click on Friar Joseph's link and subscribe to his channel. That'd be really cool if you can. I don't know what your sub count is at the moment, Friar Joseph. I know you said you've not been going long, but if this gets you a few more, and I'll have a look as well.
I'll happily give them a shout out.
Yeah, it's all about sharing, isn't it? Absolutely. Bramwell's in the house.
Rob's in.
Wanted to say hello and hit the like. Can't hear you as I'm at Runaway Tap Room, but wanted to show support. Oh, that's very kind of you, Bramwell. Thank you very much for showing a bit of support.
He's just done a collaboration, hasn't he?
He does. He has done a bit of work with Lords, hasn't he? Very nice.
So we'll have a look at that. IPA, isn't it?
I believe it was.
Lord, I've seen Lords have put something up. New World IPA or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Maybe. David Wilson is saying hi to Bramwell. So hello. And Square Table is saying hello, Rob, to Bramwell. We were taking caps so you can hear, bro. We were talking caps so you can hear, bro. And I'll try and pronounce my words more so you can lip read.
Don't try and read anything John puts up.
Yeah, you won't be able to read anything John puts up because it'll all be an emoji speech and the emojis won't be in emojis. The Hop House is in. How are you, Hop House? Hop House has also got a channel.
Hey, Eddie.
That is
He's close to me as well. He's only Telford. So he's only half hour away from me.
Yeah. So Eddie from the Hop House, go and have a little look at Eddie's channel. He's got a nice little channel, puts out some good reviews. So go and have a look at that as well. So yeah, a couple of channels in. Well, there's been a few channels in tonight. David Wilson saying that a great sign, Chris. It is a great sign that Took Bob.
It is. I do like that.
We like a bit of Took Bob. Rob is saying, hello, David and Joey. Yes, that helps. Jolly good. Look who else is in the house. Here comes another beer reviewer in the house that's smashing up the world of YouTube at the moment with over 7,000 subs. It's Paul from Paul's Beer Reviews, the one and only. He's supping a cheeky Irish red whilst the bar's quiet. So Paul is the taproom manager for Creative Juices Brewing. Creative Juices make some great beers, and that's where Paul works. He's working as we speak. So while it's quiet, he's supping a cheeky Irish red. So fair play to you, Paul. Enjoy that. Sounds very nice.
Cheeky lad.
Absolutely. Chutney is the word we're looking for, Red Devil. You're absolutely right. Just a little jar of chutney. Oh, God.
I knew it was left related. I just couldn't think.
We're getting old. But Eddie's on it as well now. Chutney. Yeah,
all right. Yeah.
We're just getting old and the brain's not quite delivering words as it should. Chutney.
You forget Chris is like 4 or 5 years older than these lads, and I'm older than Chris.
Yeah, exactly. I know I only look like I'm in my 30s, but I'm not.
Yeah. If you can't remember, there's no chance I will, that's for sure.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm 48 in a couple of months. Time flies, doesn't it? Just bloody vanishes.
Oh, mental.
I was happy to turn 40. When I turned 40, I was quite happy with that. I was like, yeah, I like being sounding 40. And now I'm thinking, shit, I'm not far off 50.
I can help 52 this year.
I know. It's just got quite a bigger ring to it, isn't it? 40 and 50. That's like, oof. I've probably got less time left on the planet than I've been on it.
Keep drinking.
Absolutely. So enjoy your time. Enjoy your time while you are on the planet. David is saying that hi to Paul. Fryer's got to run. He's off to Germany. That's why. Thank you very much for tuning in, Fryer. Hopefully you'll pick up some subs and we'll have a little
Thanks,
look
mate.
as well.
I'll have a look.
Absolutely. Evening, Mr. Wilson, says Paul. How are you, sir? Eddie from the Hop House is saying hello to Paul as well. And Evening Hop House says Paul. David Wilson's good, thanks, Paul. How's it you and Abby? I'm pretty sure Abby's fine. Chatted to Abby on text myself in our little group chat. She's been busy.
Oi,
oi.
Cheeky.
Cheeky. She's been busy making things. Yeah, I'm sure they're both all good. Brett's in. How are you, Brett? Hope you are doing
Hey, Brett. How are
nice.
you, pal?
David saying hi to Brett. Sup, Dave? What is sup? Says Billy. Scotty saying, evening, Eddie. How are you, mate? And everybody's all doing really well, David. Thanks, buddy. It's so nice that everyone's saying hello to each other, etc. Red Devil, I'll have a nose at Hop House. Yeah, go and give Eddie a shout. He's got a good little channel. Reviews good beers. Yeah, nice little channel. And Eddie is saying, evening Scott and Wonders World, hope you're enjoying those Salopian beers. I've been under the weather, so no beers at the minute on medication. That's always a shitter, isn't it? When you're on medication. But sometimes if you're ill, it's difficult to even think about having a beer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So understandable. Eddie, I've sent you a link to something. Messenger, mate. I'm getting through them. He's getting through them. I'm guessing Eddie has sent some Salopian beers to Scott, and Scott is getting through them. Yes, I've seen a couple of them. Happy days. Baz, someone was asking the name of your cat. It's Wednesday, isn't it?
Not when somebody did ask and he commented, and I thought he put it's Wednesday, and I thought, fucking Wednesday, what's he on about? Has he been drinking? No, it's Sammy. It's called Sammy. The cat that was on the thing. Yeah, I did find that a little bit odd. I think I ignored his comment. I think I just liked it because I thought, has he been drinking or something?
How many cats have you got? You've got
3.
more than one? Yeah, you have got 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the ginger one that makes an appearance the most, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the old one. One.
Yeah, I've got 4 of the sods. But I wouldn't be without them. I love them. They're pains in the arses at times, isn't they?
Oh, I know. Trust me.
But I do like them, and they've worked out that I'm in here now. They're not outside now, but they have worked out that this is where I am. So if I'm in here doing a beer review, I can just see their little faces. They pull themselves up on the door, and their faces appear at the door. It's brilliant. They do make me laugh.
If you're going to do beer reviews, don't have a cat.
No,
because JB gets all the grief, doesn't he?
Yeah, you let him in the room.
I get all the grief.
Yeah,
you're starting to get it.
Yeah, and JB
You're
definitely.
going to have cats with thumbs and everything turning up at the door, sticking their fingers.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It is funny. Scott is saying, sorry to hear you haven't been well, Eddie. Yeah, that's not very nice. Don't like it when people are unwell. Hope you're feeling better now. Absolutely. Hopefully you can get back on the beer reviews soon, Eddie. Mark Jones, how are you, mate? Hello, you set of mad ones. How are you, Mark? Hope you're doing well. Scott is saying good evening to Mark as well. Brett, I'm barely surviving. Another health scare. Oh, mate, really? Not good news. If you need to chat, mate, ping me on Instagram. If there's anything I can help you with, then do so. And I'm really sorry to hear that, mate. And
I think he moved recently, didn't he? And I think he was looking to everything,
But yeah, if you need to chat, mate, ping me on the old Insta. Sorry to hear that, and I hope things do improve for you. Hey up, Scott. Hope you're well. And wonder, of course, from Mark. Scott is saying he's top tip. Top tip? No, he's not. He's tip top. Tip top here. Thanks, Mark. Not a care in the world. Good stuff. That's what we like. No cares in the world. Hope you guys had a nice few days away. So if they've been away, then I hope you did as well. Nah, because you're a Sheffield United fan, Baz. Catch up, for fuck's sake.
There we go. Man United fan giving stick.
My cats are on the roof. They're on the roof. I can hear them.
Cat on the hopped in roof.
No, they've just gone running down the garden fence. It's because it's raining. They've come home because it's raining.
Red Devil will be supporting Sheffield United, though, won't he, when they play City?
Oh, of course he will. Of course he will.
He's got no joy in getting a result, but he'll be supporting them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How are Sheffield United doing in the Championship. They're up there, aren't they? They're
We
second.
are just about hanging on in second.
Yeah, I thought they were second. And you've got the
I
mighty
say
Luton
just
Town
about
behind
hanging
you.
on. We're in control, but
Oh, you are, yeah. I mean, you've got Luton Town behind you, and they're how many points behind the Luton? They're about 6 behind you, aren't they?
I think 5 or 6.
But Sheffield United have got games in hand as well, haven't they?
Only
over
one.
Luton?
Only one.
Only one. The good old mighty Luton Town.
But we got 4 games of our last 6 at home.
Oh well, you should be fine, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we got two games you'd say are dodgy ones, which is Preston, who are pretty much in the playoffs now on a really good run. And West Brom, hit and miss them, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
But then the others are like Bristol City, Stoke, Wigan on Saturday.
Yeah.
But you never know, do you? You never know.
You never know.
I've been watching the wheels fall off, mate, for about 8 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I'm every game now, I'm just in pieces.
Yeah. I know. But then you look at Luton Town, you look at the run Luton Town are on.
Yeah.
And you just think, wow, it's, I mean, I have a soft spot for Luton Town because whilst I don't live there, I've worked in Luton for many years. So I've always got a little bit of affection for Luton Town, and their ground is a shithole. It's a terrible, terrible ground, which I'm not sure even if they got promoted to the Premier League will let them in because of their ground. It is so bad. It is terrible, their ground. When you go into their ground, you walk in the gates, which is between 2 houses, which is really weird. So a row of terraced houses, the entrance to the stand, and you go up some stairs to get onto the terraces. Yeah. And you can see in everybody's back gardens, they're like looking up at you, waving. As you're going up these stairs, you can see everybody's washing, everything that they've got hanging up on their washing line, and people in their back gardens like waving at you. It's a very little stadium. It's not even, I wouldn't even call it a stadium. It's a ground, that's for sure. But yeah, little Luton Town, punching well above their weight, bless them.
Well, the thing is, this time of year, it's not about who's been the better team all season. It's about what form you're in, isn't it? The last few games.
Absolutely. That's what it always comes down to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll give you a wee message tomorrow. Yeah, give me a message, mate. Right now, I'm out of it. May have to bow and set my head down. Yeah, go and get your head down, mate, and ping me a message. If there's anything I can help you with, I will. And we will have a good evening.
Yeah,
up the blade.
Yeah, mate.
Up the blade, says a red
Up
devil.
the blades.
Up the blade.
He does love me, really.
Eddie, he's off. Have a good one, guys. Just sort of pop in and say hi. Ready?
Take care, mate.
So, mate, I hope you can stop taking the medication.
Definitely meet up at some point.
Yeah, do it. Death by Cocktails in the house. How are you, mate? DBC, how are you? Evening, folks. Not had the Mackeson in years, but it was pretty decent from what I remember. Hope it's held up. It did hold up.
It's still pretty decent now.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by it, and would buy it again. Would definitely buy it again, without a doubt. Scott is saying evening to Death by Cocktail, and why won't you click on that? There we go. Baz, tell me the average price of a pint in Oswestry, just to give some northern southern perspective on prices. There you go, Baz. Tell us.
Average price in Oswestry. He only lives 8 miles away from me. It's going to be much different. I don't know really because I don't go out much. So,
don't get out much.
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't go out much. Stonehouse, they've put their prices up, but they do their own beer and that. They put theirs up to $3.60, I think, in the tap room.
Right.
And I was talking to him, and he said, "We have to now. We really have to. We've tried taking the brunt of it, but he said we have to." Yeah. But otherwise, only ever go in Spoons or go in the Bailey Head, which does like a lot of craft beer stuff, which is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Or can be. And then Spoons is just Spoons, isn't it? But I bet you're talking. I think every town has their sort of dociles, don't they? If you like. Yeah. That will probably bang out Carlin for £2 and this, that, and the other for £2. But I bet you're talking £4 a pint anywhere where I live.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, he's asked me in my area. So I'm in Bedfordshire. There's a pub down the road from me. that I was going to, not often, but I'd pop into every now and then because they always had good beers on draft. They've always got Warsteiner on tap, which is a great beer on tap. Absolutely fantastic. I think that's about £4.50 a pint.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic on tap, Warsteiner. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'd say about £4.50. But then you walk 2 minutes down the road, you're in a Spoons where you can buy a pint of beer for 99p.
Yeah. That's the thing, and it depends what you want. I mean, if you go in Spoons and you're willing to try different beers and that, there's bargains to be had. There is bargains to be had. I mean, a Leffy's, I think, £3.80 now.
Yeah.
It did go up £4.40 something, I think, and then it's come down to £3.80. Now, a pint of that is really, for a pub price, it's decent.
It is. I've had a couple of pints of Leffe in Wetherspoons. I don't know whether it's a slightly different quality or not. It doesn't taste like a proper Leffe to me, but it's still a decent beer. And a pint of it, at the ABV it's at, is quite a lot to drink, really. But yeah, it's all right. And for the price, like you say, it's not bad. It's not bad.
I bet you've got to be looking anywhere in the country, £3.50 a pint.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Be.
I know pubs and etc. and breweries are having to raise their prices, and it's tricky. And I don't know where it's going to go in terms of price hikes. I really don't. But I don't want to see loads of pubs close. We've lost far too many pubs over the last sort of 10 years. Far too many. So I hope a lot of pubs don't just get priced out of the market and have to go. I think that'd be a real shame. But I don't know. I don't know where it's on.
I think that's the way it's going, to be honest. But
yeah, and it'd be a shame. Yorkshire Peacocks 1919. Nice to see you in. Not seen your name on my channel before, so thank you very much for dropping in. Always nice to see new people.
I think he's back on my channel before. He has, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Familiar, but
so he's probably come from seeing you saying you're on mine. So that's nice.
Maybe.
Yeah, we
like
that.
He's quite new, I think, to my channel. So.
Cool.
Well, possibly.
But thank you very much for watching anyway.
Yes.
So he wanted to pick Mackeson up today, but already purchased a load in Crate Escape. Oh, he's been to Crate Escape.
Oh.
Stop me. We'll try next week. And what did you buy in Crate Escape? What a place Crate Escape is. What a place it is. So it'd be interesting to see what he bought in there. I'm sure he probably came away with an awful lot of beer. So what did you get?
You have to, wouldn't you? Well, you know, don't you? So.
I do. You can't go in there and not spend money. It's ridiculous. You have to go in there and spend money. You have to. Pete's in the house. How are you, mate? Good evening, fellas. Hope you're well, mate. Pete, one day we'll sort out meeting up soon. We keep talking about it, don't we? We just need to find dates and get on with it and do it. I'm a nightmare, Pete. I am crap. It's taken me 6 months to organise this live with Bass. I am.
It's not long, is it?
No. I am rubbish. Mark Jones, Yorkshire Peacocks. We're going to beat Liverpool on Monday and need a win. Who's we, Mark Jones? Who do you support, Mark? I feel like I should know this.
I'm going to let you carry on for a second.
You go and see the vicar, mate. Who do you support, Mark? I feel like I should know this. Going to beat Liverpool on Monday. Who are you playing on Monday? I don't know. Cheapest chips, the Spoons in Oswestry. I'll take your word for that, David. I've not been to it, but most are, aren't they? Most Spoons. I mean, even ones in central London, you can get decent price beers. Even the Spoons in the old central London, which is generally rip-off capital of the entire country, is pubs in central London. Yorkshire Peacocks is doubting, mate. Palace game was a shambles. Aileen scares me at the moment. Well, you're going to take a point in a heartbeat. Fair enough. Oh, these comments are gone disappearing. Aileen, wow, don't get me started. Get him started. Get Mark Jones started. Let's get Mark on a rant. Let's do that. Don't want you, Hammer. The lad has been a great servant for the club, but sadly not a Premier standard.
Not quite back yet.
No worries, mate. You crack on. No room for sentiment. I agree. Sometimes there is no room for sentiment in football. No matter how long someone's played for a club or whatever, the bottom line is everything comes down to results, and you want your team to win, don't you? When in a pub went in a pub on the Gloucester Road, Bristol. Wickwar beers on tap, A5, about £3.50. Yeah, that's not bad. And Bristol was, a big city, isn't it? Is it city? Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of good breweries in Bristol. A lot of very good breweries in Bristol. Arbour being one. I've got to get to the tap room at Arbour. So yeah, in Bristol, £3.50 a pint. I think that's pretty decent. That's a good shout. Woo 58. Why can't we buy Beamish Stout? Do you know Woo 58? I don't know why. Pure coincidence. Woo 58. I've emailed a number of online beer shops, Beers of Europe being one of them, saying, can you get Beamish Stout? Can you get it imported? Because Beers of Europe get great beers from all over the place, yet they never have Beamish. And I loved Beamish. Back in the early 90s, I used to go to a place called Harrow Leisure Centre, and they always had Beamish, and I loved it. And then it vanished, didn't it? It vanished from England. And I'd love it back, and I keep trying to find it. There's so many shops that I've been on that say they've got it, and they haven't, because I want it, and I want to review it. I want Beamish Stout. I used to love it, and I want to know if I still love it as much as I did back in the 90s, early 90s, when it was in England. So yeah, why can't we buy Beamish Stout in mainland UK? I'd love, because it's a Heineken beer as well. It is brewed by Heineken in Ireland.
Yeah.
So why is that not? Why isn't it in the UK? Murphy's is also brewed in Ireland, but you can get Murphy's in the UK. But Murphy's is also brewed in the UK. Murphy's English stout is not the same as the Murphy's you're going to get in Ireland. But it's a Heineken beer. It's Heineken-owned Beamish. So why is that not in mainland UK? Why? Any ideas?
Not a clue.
Why isn't it? If anyone's got an answer, stick it on a postcard. Send it to me.
Yeah. Get your address out there, Bob.
Yeah. Answers on a postcard, please. But so yeah, I'm with you, Woo 58. Why can't we? Because I want it. I want it, and it is literally only this week I've emailed online beer retailers saying, "Can you get it?" Because I want it. How weird.
Saying that, I'll tell you what. It's got me thinking now. We could do another review, couldn't we? Live.
Yeah.
And Caffrey's. Have you reviewed that?
Not reviewed it.
So I keep looking at that. That's another one. I look at the 4-pack and I think, I only really want one can.
I know. That's the thing, isn't it?
I kind of got off that, but Murphy's I haven't reviewed either.
I think
we should maybe set up 3 or 4 beers that we review in a night.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, rather than just reviewing one beer, let's review a few. So we could do that. Caffrey's, Murphy's, and something else.
Maybe some older stuff that we both remember from our
absolutely.
Shall we say?
But Beamish was one of those. And
yeah.
I don't understand it, because it is brewed by Heineken in Ireland. So why is it not mainland UK? I need it. I absolutely need it. Red Devil Baz, I heard you get free Leffe glass in spoons too. The reason I asked was I had a couple of guests today. They were saying £2.50 a pint in Oz just to keep up with spoons. £2.50 a pint.
I don't get free glasses.
Well,
no.
See, a lot of people do.
No comment.
But a lot of people nick glasses from pubs, and you don't need to nick them. Just go and ask. Just say, "Can I keep this glass?" And they'll always say yes, because they don't pay for the branded glasses. They're all given to them.
Yeah, to be honest, I was in there one time, and a couple did come home with me, but not direct.
We've all done it. We've all done it.
Not direct because of me. And ironically enough, the funny thing was, the father-in-law actually wanted the smaller glasses.
Right.
But on the day, I think we borrowed a couple, and there was like pint and a small one. Maybe 2 pints, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I give the father-in-law the small ones, and I had one small one left, and I broke that not long after. So it was a good job that I actually had the 2 pint ones.
Absolutely.
Because it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I've got well over 100 glasses in here, and not one of them has been liberated. Most of them I've bought. and ones that I have got from pubs, I've just asked them. I've just said, I really like this glass. Can I have it, please? And they say, yeah, of course, because all the breweries give them the branded glasses. So
That's it, yeah.
it's not
I
a lot.
don't know if you saw my video of the Bangla, the Indian beer.
I don't think I probably did, Baz, but my memory's just shocking.
Me and the missus went out for an all-you-can-eat Indian, and as we walked in, this is how bad it is with me. The bloke says, "Oh, table for two, innit?" So we walked in.
Yeah.
She walked off with him. I looked behind the bar to see what beer they had.
Yeah, of course.
And I noticed this beer called Bangla, an Indian one. So I ordered one. I thought it's different, isn't it? And it come out in that glass.
Oh, nice.
That you can see.
Yeah, that's a cool glass.
Tidy.
Yeah.
So before we left, I said, "Oh, can I take a bottle home?
Yeah.
And any chance of having a glass, I'll buy it off you."
Yeah.
And so I bought a bottle to come home.
Yeah.
And the woman behind the bar said, "Look, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. The manager will go nuts, but you can have the glass." And as it happened, she didn't actually charge me for the beer, so I actually had the glass and the beer for free.
Sweet.
But yes, always ask.
Always ask.
I've bought lots of glasses in my time, trust me.
Yeah, I bought plenty. But yeah, pubs will give them to you. Just ask. They give them to you. I need another wee, so I'm going to leave you for 2 minutes to carry on chat.
You guys are going to have to put up with me now. So, yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what, right? You're going to look at me and go, "What's he doing now? What's he doing now?" I'm just thingy. Because I got a football thing up. Oh, bugger. Here we go. Right, so you saw my hand there. I'm a little bit miffed now because I've just seen that the football results, Middlesbrough are beating Norwich, which means they're going to be catching Sheffield United up. Sheffield United are going to have Luton and Middlesbrough on their arse now, which makes our game absolutely massive tomorrow. We need to win tomorrow. So, yeah. And no doubt I'll be doing shit in the garden and that, and then panicking. Be watching the football all the time on my phone, doing exactly what we don't want our kids to do. If I could scroll through all the comments, I would, but I can't. So you just have to put up with me.
I'm back.
He's back. He's back.
I'm back anyway.
Funny enough, Chris.
I'm back anyway.
On my phone, got all the notifications at the top, and there was a football one. So when you disappeared, I just quickly. And Middlesbrough beating Norwich 2-0, so I've just moaned about that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yorkshire Peacock says, "I watch both channels, just not massively vocal with the comments. Great content. Thank you very much."
Oh, there you are. See, I knew I recognised him, mate.
You don't need to be massively vocal in the comments. That's not a problem. No. So thank you very much for jumping into the comments.
Well, that's it, yeah.
It's Leeds. That's who Mark supports. Leeds. Fair enough.
Oh, Leeds. Oh, dirty Leeds. Sheffield United.
Good old Leeds. No one likes us. Fair play, mate. Red Devils, Leeds. Mr. Steady Hands, how are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Great channel, Chris. Nice Ticini top there too, bud. Up the hammers. Yeah, I do like my little Sergio Ticini hoodie. I picked up in London.
It's rolling back the years.
It does, doesn't it? And I was in Camden Town a few months back with the missus, and there was like a retro clothing mod type shop, and I went in there and I was looking at the prices of things, thinking, my God, everything in here is so expensive. And then I looked at the sale rail, and this was on the sale rail for 45 quid, I think. And I was like, I've got to have it because it just reminds me of my youth. You know, Sergio Ticini tracksuits in my youth were the thing. And they were, I mean, going back then, I mean, I was born in 75. So I started noticing them probably in the 80s. They were £100 tracksuits back in the 80s, which is mega money back then.
Yeah. Fila as well. Remember Fila?
Fila, you know, and Lacoste is still a pretty big brand, Lacoste. But back in the 80s and the 90s, Lacoste were huge.
Fred Perry, back in the 80s, were laughed upon.
I know.
They were going out of fashion. Now look at them.
I know. You go and look at a Fred Perry polo shirt now. You're looking at 90 quid.
Fucking hell.
It's a polo shirt. It's £90. Yeah, I like this top, and it just reminded me of my youth. And it was 45 quid, and I just thought I've got to have that. And it's actually really well made. It is really good quality, which sounds old man like, but yeah, I just have to have it. It just reminded me of my youth, because in my youth I couldn't afford a Sergio Tacchini tracksuit, and now
You know
I
what I
can.
always like as well is the old Adidas t-shirts or Adidas, depending on where you're from.
Yeah.
With just the 3 stripes, you know, like the
That's
t-shirt
right.
with Adidas on the front and just the 3
Yeah.
stripes and the ring around the arm.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff.
Mm.
Real retro.
I do. And back in the 90s, we had the Adidas tracksuit bottoms, the poppers all the way down the side.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally pull them open. I think they're like quite retro now and quite
Yeah.
expensive. So yeah, it is funny. Up the Hammers, I go to the Hammers. Well, I'm not saying a lot, but reasonably often, because my brother-in-law's got a family ticket for West Ham, and if they don't all go, he can add me to it for very little money, which is really handy. So I've been to the Hammers quite a lot. I'm not a big fan of the Hammers Stadium, the old Olympic Stadium, and I think it lacks a bit of atmosphere, but I enjoy going and watching football. So it's always a good day out to spend with a brother-in-law as well. Strange how people don't know we are the Peacocks. Strange how people don't know we are the Peacocks. Well, you've lost me on that one. Who are the Peacocks? Have we missed something? Have we missed something, Yorkshire Peacocks? I don't want to piss you off, mate. What have I missed? It's in your name.
Not a league thing, is it?
Is it? It's got to be a football team. What football team was established in 1919 in Yorkshire and they're known as the Peacocks? It's got to be that, surely.
Oh.
Is it Leeds?
Barnsley, Leeds, Doncaster. That's Yorkshire, isn't it? Rotherham. No, are they Yorkshire?
I don't know.
Can't be Sheffield Wednesday. Fucking hell, don't want them.
No. Enlighten us, Yorkshire Peacocks. I don't think we're far off. Scott is saying all the beer Gestapo moan about spoons. I don't mind the spoons, but you can't fault their prices. You can't. And in times we live in, I'm quite happy to drink a few in the spoons every now and then. Damn right. I'm all for spoons. A lot of people.
To be honest, when I go out, it's spoons, Bailey Ed, or this other craft place.
Yeah, absolutely. My son's in the spoons tonight. Yeah, I've got no issues with spoons. None. I've never come across any trouble in these spoons, any grief. Yeah, you get a lot of people that have probably been in there since 8 o'clock in the morning, but you can't knock it. And they generally have pretty decent beers as well. So yeah, there's no need to knock them. I'm all for supporting my local tap rooms, but when a beer for me and Wonder costs £12 and I can get 4 for that in spoons, something has to give. I couldn't agree more.
Exactly. We're not made of money, are we?
Oh no, we're not made.
So much money you can spend. So,
and do you know what kind of pissed me off is this isn't a Brewdog rant, but so Brewdog released their Blackheart Stout, which I quite like. I do like the Brewdog Blackheart Stout. And with a club card, well, I don't even think you need a club card now. It's 4 cans for £4 in Tesco's, which is a good price.
Yeah.
And it's a good stout. But you go in their tap room, they charge you £7 for a pint of it.
And you just,
I think that's taking the piss. When I can buy 4 cans, all right, they're not pint cans, they're 440s, but I can buy 4 of those for £4. You're going to charge £7 for a pint of it in your tap room.
Well, Tesco's are going to be making a bit on that, aren't they?
Well, of course they are.
Of course they are. So
I just think that's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. So whilst I like it, and I think I bet it's even better on draft or tap or whatever you want to call it. But I'm not going to go in a Brewdog bar and pay £7 for a pint of it. It's not going to be that much better.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? Because you've got your surgeon.
Yeah, exactly. And with the surgery, I can run it through it. I just think, that's a liberty. You know, there are some breweries where the tap rooms aren't that expensive, but the likes of Brewdog, I just think, no, they're just taking the absolute pee with that. But, you know, some things do have to give. Can you, if you can go into a tap room and a beer's £12 or or you get 2 for 12 quid, yeah, you can go in spoons and get 4. So, you know, when times are hard, that's what you're going to choose, aren't you?
Well, yeah, you have to, you know.
Oh, yeah, completely get it. At DBC, I know they bet short-dated beers and stuff, but surely spoons are only helping smaller breweries. Maybe, yeah. Why not? You know, and if it is helping small, and they do have smaller breweries in some of theirs. You know, they depending on where the spoons is, they would go to local brewers, won't they?
Yeah, they'll have regional ones, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Mark Jones is saying Beamish was a stonker. Great beer, as was Murphy's and Caffrey's back in the rave days. Yeah, absolutely.
In the rave days, it was, yeah. Early 90s, wasn't it? I suppose.
Absolutely. We need Beamish back. Buy, not but. Don't worry. We knew what you meant. DJ CJ is saying used to drink Beamish with a portion of cheesy chips at the snooker club. And see, this is my point. I used to drink
cheesy chips.
Why not? But the point there is in a snooker club, I used to drink Beamish in a leisure centre. You know, it was generally all over. It was everywhere. So how did it just like that vanish? Why?
I'm not bothered about the Beamish. The cheesy chips with it. Who the fuck puts cheese on chips? I don't get that at all. Anyway, that's a different discussion.
Well, it's funny you should say that. It's funny you should say that. I had cheesy chips last weekend when I was up north, and I loved it. And I thought the cheesy chips were fantastic. Have you had it?
I can't even bring myself to do cheesy chips. I don't want cheese on these fucking chips.
You can't knock it, Baz. You can't knock it until you've tried it.
I'll go beans. I'll go curry sauce. I'll go gravy. Not fucking cheese on my chips. Sorry.
No, you got to melted cheese on chips, mate. You're missing out. It's lovely. It is lovely. Do you have melted cheese on a jacket potato?
That's different.
No, it's not.
And to be honest, I am a bit, but I don't have loads. I don't have it, so it takes over the potato.
You still have it. And what's a chip? A chip is a mashed potato, effectively.
No. It's different. It's different. A chip is a chip.
Once you crunch through the crispy outside, you've got a fluffy potato in the middle that's like a jacket potato.
Yeah, but I like tuna, butties. But I won't eat a tuna steak on a thing. Sometimes there's a way and a time to eat something. Cheese on chips, no, piss off. I'm not giving up this one. You can have bottle shop off license, whatever you want, but I ain't giving up on this one.
Fair enough. No, you're wrong. Try it. Try it. Don't knock it until you've tried it.
Cheesy beans as well. What's all that? Don't tell me you have cheesy beans as well.
I'm not a big fan of baked beans anyway. But I have eaten grated cheese over baked beans and grated cheese.
There's grated cheese, isn't there? And there's smothering your beans in cheese.
Yeah, it's just grated.
No. Sorry.
Yeah, not smothered. Just a little sprinkling of grated cheese. Not smothered.
I'll give you a sprinkling.
Sprinkling's good. So many different beer in spoons that change on a week. Yeah, they do change on a weekly basis, don't they? And that's quite nice. That's what I like about spoons is you go in 1 week, you get a set of beers, you go in another week, and there's other beers. So, yeah, I like that. Yeah, do a stout review. We will. What have we reviewed in the past together? I can't even remember.
We've done a couple of Wild Horse Brewing beers, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've done this. I don't know. I'd have to look.
I'd have to look.
I don't think we've done that many, have we?
Yeah. No, we haven't really. To be fair, we haven't done that many. No, we haven't.
I reckon we probably because we done the food one, didn't we? God, do you remember that?
We did that curry one, didn't we?
Sick to the dog after I was.
That curry one was vicious.
That was deadly. That was.
I was doing it right until I went back to it. I can't remember what happened. I was doing it right with it, and then we put them to the side, and then I went back to it, and it just blew my head off. God, they were brutal. And the frying pan that I cooked that in, it penetrated the pan. Weeks later, I was cooking in it, and she's like, "Why is all this food tasting so hot?" It's like, "Yeah, that was the pan I did the curry."
Cleaning that pan, it took about four washes, if you like, 4 different meals and washes before it totally went. You could smell it when you put the hot water on it.
Oh, you could, yeah. Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, I
Absolutely
won't be doing
crazy.
that again. That was meant.
Pete is saying better spelling. I can't remember what we were talking about, Pete.
No.
I'm not even pissed, Pete, and I can't remember what we were talking about. What?
Better spelling? I don't know. The last thing I was thinking was what the.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah,
was-
maybe. There's no beer glass stealing. We just borrow them. Absolutely. Always borrow them. You two should do a Murphy's and Caffrey's side by side.
Well, there you are. That's what
Well,
we mentioned, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did. We will.
Yeah.
Are
we that far behind on the comments?
Well, maybe we are. But Murphy's is... Yeah, we sorted out, David. Don't you worry. Used to have Caffrey's 20 years ago when I was only 18. It used to get me pissed. Had it last week, 20 years later, and tasted nothing. Very poor. Probably another beer that's been ruined over time, I would say, is Caffrey's, I reckon.
I think when you're younger and you go out, this is why reviewing is a bit weird, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when you just go out and drink beer, you just drink beer, do you? I don't think you actually think about it.
No, you
don't think about the taste. If it glides down, for instance, Boddington's, Worthington's, Guinness, all those years ago, nobody ever sat there and went, "Ooh, this tastes of coffee," or "It's roasted."
No,
what
exactly.
you done was just chuck it down your neck.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think when you get a bit older, you kind of appreciate what you drink a bit more. Yeah,
and I think that's why. I mean, I reviewed John Smith's Extra Smooth quite a while back, and I got some fairly shitty comments about my review of that. But I remember drinking John Smith's many, many years ago when I was early teens, and it was a decent pint. But then I stopped drinking it. And then when I had it again, when I reviewed it about a year and a half ago, it was a completely different beer to what it was then. But the people that have been drinking John Smith's for years and years and years, they don't notice the drop-off because they're not thinking about it. Because in their head, they're drinking John Smith's, they just drink it. They just don't notice the drop-off. And that isn't a criticism of them. They just haven't really noticed that drop-off because they just drink it so regularly. They're not thinking about it. They're just drinking it. There's no thought process. But if you drank something years ago and it tasted decent, and then you review it now, because of how many times it's changed hands with different breweries and the ABV's been dropped and everything else, you notice the difference. So, and I tried to explain that to someone in one of my comments. They weren't having a bar of it. But I was like, it's because you've drunk it for 30 years regularly. You're not thinking about it. So you haven't noticed that drop-off. And so, I don't know. You get my point. But
to me, when I reviewed it, which was just over about a year ago, I think, because I actually reviewed it when I was working away because they happened to have it there. And he said, "Help yourself." So I thought it saved me buying it, didn't it? But I actually thought the taste was still sort of what I remember from 10, 15 years ago. So has the beer changed that much, or is it because I've changed so much?
Maybe. Could be a bit.
The fact that you never actually you just assume that beer tastes like that and that's that.
Yeah. Quite possibly.
I mean, in the pub that I used to go and drink it in, they had like the smooth one, and they also had it on cask. See, I always sort of went for the smooth one, but a lot of people went for the cask, so I can't really comment on how different it maybe is. But for me, what's in the can didn't seem any real difference to what I used to drink really years ago. So
that's fair enough. Mr. Steady Hands is a West Ham fan. The Sheffield United Tevez saga years ago has somewhat soured my opinion of the Blades.
Oh, it's all right. You're not the first one anyway. Where I live, I got Wrexham fans that hate Sheffield United at the moment. So,
Mr. Steady Hands, I believe West Ham will stay up. Do you think they will? I think David Moyes has got to go. But I still think West Ham will stay up. I think they will.
I'll tell you why it's tight at the bottom, isn't it?
It's very tight. It is tight.
Below Chelsea, I've not looked for the last week at the points, but really I was looking a couple of weeks ago, and you could pretty much say anywhere from 12 which was
Yeah.
Palace, I think it was, or 13th. Any
Yeah.
one of them was only about 4 points from the drop.
Yeah, it's dangerous down there. I think Southampton. Sorry, JB, but I think Southampton are gone. I think they will drop. But
They're
after that,
dreadful, Southampton.
they are dreadful. Which is a shame. You know, I've got no. I mean, I don't have any ill feelings about any club. I don't do the hatred that does exist in football. I'm a Spurs fan, but I admire what Arsenal have done. I think they've done really well. They play good football. I don't buy into the hatred, so I've certainly got no ill feelings towards Southampton. But I think they've rode their luck for a few years, Southampton.
Yeah,
And I think they're probably about right to drop, to be fair. But above that, I think it's a bit of a free for all. But I think Hammers will stay up. I do think they'll stay up.
It's tight. I want Everton to go down
I
because the missus supports Everton. So,
love that.
and I think Everton. I don't think they're always at the bottom somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah,
And you just think it's about time you fucking went, isn't it? Just go.
yeah. The last couple of
You know
seasons,
when
they
that
float
guest
around
comes
there.
up, comes
Yeah.
round, and it round your house,
Yeah,
and you look at it, you watch at 7 o'clock, and you're thinking, "Fucking hell, you've been here about 6 hours. You're not ready to go." And 10 o'clock, you're still doing the same. That's
Yeah.
Everton in the Premier League.
I love that analogy. I love that. Now this now makes sense. Woo 58 is West Ham United, isn't it? Saying, "Come on, you
Yeah.
Iron." So yeah, there's me calling him Woo 58. It's West Ham United, isn't it?
Woo 50.
Come on, you Irons. I quite enjoy going and watching the Irons. It's not. I just like going and watching football. Yes, Death by Cocktail is due to tax prices after takeovers from huge breweries. I'm lost as to what that comment meant. Yorkshire, no idea, mate. Such a shame. At Yorkshire, no idea, mate. It's a shame. It's a shame. I can't remember what
It's
this
a shame you ain't got a clue what they're saying. Yes.
God, we're not that far behind either. And I've not
You
even
could
had a
be.
lot to drink. Red Devil, hey guys, we weren't rich when I was at school and we had Gola trainers. Absolutely.
Gola.
Good old Gola. 20 years later, I lived in Italy for 10 years. They loved Gola and paid shitloads for them. Peacock's Leeds. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? I remember being a kid, yeah. I'm completely with you, Red Devil. If you had Gola trainers when you were a kid, you had the absolute piss ripped out of you, didn't you?
Yeah.
And yeah, I came from a poor family back then. And yeah, Gola or high tech, you got ruined.
High tech. I used to have high techs. Yeah.
Absolutely ruined if you had high techs or Gola.
Now you need to buy the Lidl's own brand trainers, didn't you?
I know. It's nuts, isn't it? Yeah, you did. Yeah, I love that. I love nostalgia stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gola. But you know, Gola have had a little bit of a comeback recently.
Yeah, they are that. Yeah.
They're a bit retro now and almost seen as it's all right. And like Dunlop Green Flash as well. They were like,
Dunlop's that.
you were a
Fucking hell,
proper peasant if you wore Dunlop Green Flash.
Yeah, yeah. The tennis shoes and everything, wasn't it?
Only a few years ago, I saw Dunlop Green Flash in a shop called Shoes for like £70. What? It's Dunlop Green Flash. It's crazy how trends change, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. Upton Park was great. It was great, Upton Park. Agree with you regarding the London Stadium, the Soulless Bowl. It is a bit of a soulless bowl. I mean, when you go there and you look at how far away the dugout is to the pitch, it's like a 5-minute walk.
Yeah.
You see David Moyes walking from the dugout over to the pitch, and you're like, that's a walk. That's a lonely place out there. But yeah, Upton Park, completely different, much better atmosphere.
Them stadiums don't work over here, do they?
No,
Italy and all that have had them for years, but they don't have so many stadiums, do they? Because quite a few teams share, I think, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
they can fill them, so you get the atmosphere. Whereas over here, you want all that compact atmosphere.
Absolutely. The Leeds pub by the ground is the Peacock. The Leeds pub by the ground is the Peacock. That might answer something we were talking about earlier. We used to go to White Hart Lane as kids. Yeah, absolutely. White Hart Lane was pretty decent, really. I've not been to. Well, I'm a Spurs fan. I've not been to their new stadium since it's been built. I'd love to. I'd love to go, and I will. But yeah, the good old White Hart Lane.
You want to apply for the manager's job, Mom?
Well, probably could. I mean, why not?
Everyone else does.
Absolutely. They're a shambles. Absolute shambles. They really are. Caffrey's Murphy's Kilkenny. There's another one. Kilkenny.
Kilkenny, yeah. Fucking
Definitely review them in alive. Yeah, we will, Mark. We'll do that. We'll get them in. I'm just turning the heater back on because it has chilled down a little bit in here. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Kilkenny as well. I haven't even heard that name, Kilkenny, for a while. Sounds like a good idea. I'm amazed my internet hasn't dropped out. And we've been on over 2 hours and it hasn't dropped out. In fact, it's almost at full signal, my Wi-Fi, which is ridiculous.
Everyone's gone out, Mom.
Yeah.
No sod, isn't it all?
Yeah, the only one in the house, I think, is Leah. Leah the dog and the 4 cats. I should send them out a bit more. On that wee site, Beamish. On that site, Beamish is £2.44 a can and £87 delivery. Oof. And orange covering eyes. That's the emoji, isn't it, that does that?
Yeah.
What site's that on, Pete? Because there is a site that has got it, but it's got to come from Ireland. I can't remember what it's called. It might be Dicey O'Reilly's. There's a website called Dicey O'Reilly's that has got it, and that is in Ireland. So that probably is a very heavy delivery charge.
I've never trusted a website called Dicey O'Reilly's. It sounds shady as hell, doesn't it?
Years ago, I used to go to a bar in Neasden in London, and it was called Dicey O'Reilly's, and it was a proper Irish person's club, but that was called Dicey O'Reilly's. So yeah, it's quite an Irish thing. No, Mark, bottle shop, it ain't. It just ain't. There's no such thing. We know this. Don't get me ranting. I've ranted enough recently about bottle shops. No such bloody thing. Curry over mashed potatoes, the best. I'll go with that.
I wouldn't say mashed potato on a jacket spud, yeah.
Yeah, on a jacket spud, definitely. Yeah, I think I was thinking jacket spud. Over a mash, I'll give it a punt.
To be fair, when you have a jacket spud, you can't help but mash it, can you?
Exactly. You do anyway.
But there's no way you'd have mashed potato with curry over it, is it? In a jacket spud, you know when it's got its coat on, you kind of think, that's all right. Yeah. That's all right, that is.
Yeah, I get that. I absolutely get that. CJ, a proper pub, mate. Yep, agree. Proper pub. David is saying on another collab stripped by Skate Cafe and Oedipus, can in a box from Beer 52. Oh, you're drinking another collab beer by Skate Cafe and Oedipus, which was a can from a box from Beer 52.
Is that a Dutch box then, or just a collab box, or?
Yeah, I mean, I got rid of my Beer 52.
Answer me that, Dave. Answer me that.
Yeah. But David is well on the beers tonight, which is very nice. Nice to have you in for pretty much the whole couple of hours you've been in, haven't you, David? Which is very nice. He's clearly having a few beers and watching us two ramble on. Mark is saying, simples, beans on toast with melted mozzarella and chili sauce. Oh, beans on toast with melted mozzarella.
You're all killing me, eh?
Oh.
I'm kind of looking, what's going on?
Chili sauce I get chili sauce on baked beans all day long, but mozzarella.
I don't know.
I'll give that a go, Mark. I will give that a go. Mozzarella. I'll give it a go. Yeah, why not? It's worth a punt, isn't it?
All sorts of things. This ain't just a beer review channel. This is full on food shit. This is
absolutely. This is where it's at.
You wait until my greenhouse gets going, mate. I'm telling you. You can be bloody that ginger one, had the big boobies, and I'll be Alan Titchmarsh.
Absolutely. We'll do that. Oh, what was her name? The ginger one. What was her name?
Charlie Dimmock.
Charlie Dimmock. Oh, look how quick you rattled that one off, you pervert.
Well, funny enough, the missus walked in, and I saw two big boobs, and I thought Dimmock's.
Oh, brilliant.
It just come to mind, honestly. It wasn't nothing to do with the missus. It just come to mind. But yeah.
Charlie Dimmock, you're absolutely right. Never wore a bra, did she? Never.
Not by the looks of it, no.
No, exactly.
They can't hang that though, can they, if you wear a bra, surely?
No, exactly. Paul is saying, not sure I've ever actually had Caffrey's. You must have, Paul. You must have had a
I
Caffrey's.
must have in the past.
You must have done. Enjoyed Murphy's a few times. Yeah, Murphy's used to be good. I think the UK Murphy's is nowhere near the beer it used to be. I think Irish Murphy's is a lot better.
Well, yeah, there's one to do then, isn't it? As well.
Yeah.
Interrupting you.
Sorry?
It's depending on what we can get hold of. We'll do the Caffrey's.
Yeah.
Maybe do a Guinness Murphy's comparison.
Yeah. Yeah, that's worth a go.
Because you say, all right, it's not the English one isn't as good, but it's
Yeah,
how's it going to compare with Guinness?
Yeah, we do that. Yeah. Well, so
because I think it come in, didn't it, as a bit of a Guinness kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Your head's in a funny place on the screen.
Is it?
It looks like you got two horns on your head.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
All I keep thinking is Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy.
I'm looking at you.
I'll just.
Yeah, that's bad.
I'll just sink right down here. I can't sit that low. That's ridiculous. No. I've got to go back up. Yeah, you're right. It is a bit Hellboy-like, isn't it?
You're looking at it.
Let me do that. There you go.
Yeah.
I need to pull my chair right the way up now. There we go. That's better.
Hey, don't move for me. Nobody else has said now.
It's fine. It's not a problem. Not a problem. Hey up, Paul, you southern ginger monkey. From Mark. Gaz Bowden, how are you, mate? Nice to see you in.
How are you, Gaz?
4:30.
He's got a channel, actually. I don't know if you know about it.
I didn't know Gaz had a channel.
Well, there's him and about 3 mates, and it's called Stout Sunday.
Oh, cool.
So between 4 of them, they sort of do a channel, but there's only ever one that does a review. So anyone watching,
that's a good idea. Sunday, I like that. Good idea. I'll give that a look. Mark Jones, you Northern Monkey, how are you? From Paul, great point, Chris. It's like Brosnan says in Dante's Peak. If you put a frog in boiling water, it jumps straight out. But if you put it in cold water and heat it up slowly, it will boil to death. Whew. Yeah, I get, I get what you're saying. Yeah. And I'm guessing that's in relation to me saying about people that have drunk John Smith's forever. That's a similar analogy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I like that analogy. Yorkshire.
We are quite a way behind, aren't we?
I like that a lot. It's a great analogy. Red Devil is saying, remember how Strongbow and Woodpecker used to taste? They were fantastic, tasty ciders. Now Strongbow has mo tastes and woody and is hard to find except for the east of the country. I can't remember the last time I had a Strongbow. I don't mind Strongbow double fruits. I probably had that relatively. You sent me a can of that. It's still in my fridge. But yeah, Woodpecker. I mean, I can't remember the last time I even saw Woodpecker cider.
In one of my local shops, there's Woodpecker there.
Really?
It's 3.5%.
Years. I haven't seen it for years.
But Strongbow used to be 5%, and to be honest, was a decent cider, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was years ago.
Because it was dry. It was a good cider. Now it's not the cider it was. It's not the cider it was. Nowhere near.
No, I'm sure it's not. Mark Jones, we leads if we'd off. Fair point, Mark. Fair point. If I wasn't, haven't I just done this comment? If I wasn't up at 4:30 tomorrow morning, I'd join you both. I'll catch up tomorrow while having a coffee. Enjoy.
Good man, Gaz. Take care, pal.
Enjoy. DBC, high-tech silver shadows were epic trainers, and I'll hear nothing.
Shadows.
Absolutely. Oh, high-tech. My goodness.
Take over, pal.
Yeah, no worries. You crack on. If we Leeds had won last week, we'd be 12th. Lost and end up 16th. That's the crazy thing at that end of the table, isn't it? 1 win or even 2 wins puts you straight up there, knocking on top 10 door. But a defeat drops you right down the bottom, doesn't it? It's so tight at that end of the table. I'd like to see Leeds stay up. happily see Leeds stay up. But yeah, it's very tough down there. Tough one to call. Other than Southampton, I can't really call who's going to go down. Southampton, I think's, that's a dead cert. Southampton are going to go, but yeah, tricky one and tough, very tough down that end of the table. Okay, Paul, old lad. Sorry, didn't see your comment, bud. It's all right. Sure, Paul will be fine. Remember high-tech silver shadow trainers, popular in the 80s, weren't they just? But yeah, high-tech trainers. If you wore high-tech or Gola, just ripped to bits by everybody else. Paul, too many managers now, Mark. Leeds need to knuckle down again. Yeah, funny enough. Spurs like to get through managers as well. I don't think Spurs will make top 4. I think Leeds. I think Newcastle will have the 4th spot. Spurs are just a mess. I'm a Spurs fan, but they are a mess, I think. But yeah, there you go. Just my view. Paul, we all know. They all know, Paul. Charlie Dimmock, nipples like chapel hat pegs. Yeah, they were, weren't they? It was always fairly obvious that she wasn't wearing any support, that's for sure. David, Euro selection, the strip is brewed in the Oedipus Brewery in Belgium. Okay, that's fair enough. The person who wanted to really know the answer to that question has now left the room, David. There you go. There you go. That one's for you.
Hang on. Let me just pour a beer.
You pour a beer, mate. You go for it.
It's unlike me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that David I've had worse?
It certainly is.
Right, okay, bear with me. See, I can't be that drunk. If I can see I've had worse on this tiny little screen, I'm doing right. I'm gonna have to zoom in a bit though. Jesus Christ, that is small. Bloody hell. There we go. Honestly, I can't read that. That's so small.
It says, would you like me to read that for you, old man?
What's that?
You'd like me to read it for you?
Yes, please, yeah.
It says, Euro selection, the strip is brewed in the Oedipus Brewery in Belgium.
Ah, right, okay.
So there you go. Where did you think it was brewed? What box did you think it was?
Oedipus, I thought, was Dutch.
Yeah,
I asked if it was a Dutch craft beer 52 box.
Ah, you did. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's it, yeah.
Paul is saying, yeah, Charlie Dimmock was always smuggling peanuts. They were more than peanuts. They were full of
peanuts.
They were full of monkey nuts, weren't they?
Oh,
they were monkey nuts. I've had worse. It's a wit beer. Don't only just read that on the bottle. There you go. It's also a wit beer as well. Enjoy that, David. Enjoy it. Wit beers are great. I've got a couple of alcohol-free wit beers underneath my bar that I need to get around to reviewing.
You got Erdinger, have you?
I think Erdinger might be under there, but there's another one that isn't Erdinger.
That'll be interesting. I'll definitely. Well, I watch all your videos anyway, but that'll be interesting because I've done that one.
So RD is saying I had high-tech Angola. Yeah, I went through it as a kid. I had both. The high-tech even had a pink stripe. We were ingredients poor but survived. That's what it's about, isn't it? We all survived.
Hey, still here now, aren't we?
Exactly. British Store Online. Yes, Pete, you're right. I think I did see it on British Store. You're right, Pete. You're absolutely right. I did see it on British Store Online. I didn't see the postage because when I clicked to put it in basket, I thought I'll put it in the basket and then I'll see how much the postage is. But it wouldn't let me review my basket, so I couldn't find. It wouldn't let me progress, so I couldn't progress it. So it wouldn't even give me the postage price. But it was British Store Online that I did look at, Pete. It was. But £87 postage.
Jesus Christ. Be cheap to get a flight there and bring it home yourself, wouldn't it?
I was just about to say that. You'd probably get a Ryanair flight over to Ireland, have a pint of Beamish, review it, and come back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could, huh?
That's nuts, £87 postage. Nuts. Mark's off. Thanks for coming in, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Cheers,
bye-bye. All take care. Yeah, I'm not going to be on here for a huge amount longer. So yeah, thank you very much for coming in. And it says they had a warehouse in Norfolk. I think I saw that as well. How can they charge £87 for postage if they're in Norfolk, unless
That'd be mind you.
unless it's being shipped from Ireland? So it's not even in their warehouse in Norfolk.
No.
It's being shipped from Ireland to your address. What's that called when companies do that? Is it called something like drop shipping or something?
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll probably be why. They probably haven't even got any in their warehouse. They're getting it shipped.
What did you say they were charging for the can? £2.80 odd.
Yeah, something like that. £2.44, I think Pete said. Can't remember.
£2.40. That's
Yeah.
still not exactly cheap for a Beamish, is it?
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
Well, to me.
Patrick trainers. Oh my god, yeah, Patrick trainers. 75.
Yeah.
What now? That's how much they are now. Patrick were a cheap brand as well, weren't they? Holy shit. Wow. There goes John again.
Smiley face with green hair going, ooh.
There we go. Hand pick waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving.
I think he's going.
It's that emoji. No, John's waving goodbye to Mark, isn't he? It's that emoji.
All right, okay.
Yeah, these StreamYard, you need to catch up with the latest emojis. That's funny. Mark, I thought you were going. Feck me, it's the hairy monster. Side-eye John Boy. Side-eye John Boy. Side-eye John Boy. Hey, I love my sexy high-techs. John has actually got a really sexy looking pair of high-tech trainers. Let me see. I've got the photo somewhere. Was it in our group chat, John? That picture it was, wasn't it? These are a really good retro looking pair of high-techs. But whether they're going to show up on my screen.
I remember their design as well, wasn't it? It was like a line with two diagonal ones coming down on it, their logo. Puma as well. Remember Puma?
Yeah, Puma.
They're quite big now, aren't they? But
yeah, they are. But they were kind of like, they were never a top brand, but they were quite a brand that was quite affordable, weren't they? Puma.
Ascot. If I remember rightly, there was a brand called Ascot.
Ascot, yeah. Oh, I don't know where this picture is of these high-techs. I mean, I'm scrolling and scrolling back, and they're not coming up. But I actually like them. I thought they were very retro looking.
Middlesbrough beating Norwich 5-1.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how well these are going to show up because the light's going to reflect. But these are these are silver shadows. Oh, you can't see it. It's such a shame. I'm going to try doing this.
Oh yeah, look at them.
Look at them bad boys. They look fantastic. If I go down here, I might even get a better picture. No, the light's fairly crap, but
high tech quality.
They're a great retro looking pair of high tech. They are. They look fantastic. I'd wear those now because now it'd be retro. It'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But back in the 80s and 90s, boy, did you get a cussing. Did you get a cussing for wearing them? Yeah, brilliant. But yeah, they are cool. They are cool. Mark saying, how we going, lads? How was the Mackies? Got a can in the utility room. Time to crack it open, Mark.
Yeah.
I was very surprised by it. I think we both were, weren't we, really?
Well, I thought for what it was, or what I expected, it was fantastic, really.
Yeah, it was.
Not going to say it's up there with craft beer and shit.
No, absolutely. You know, it's not the best stout in the world, but at 2.8%, it's got really decent flavour.
Yeah. And
a tidy beer. I'm being invaded again. The daughter's back in. What are you saying, Leah? A bit chilly in here. That's all right. It's not bad. You like the cold. So you're just smurfing around, are you? Anything to say?
She helping herself to your beer, Chris.
Do you want a beer? This will make her move. No, stay. You can stay. If I go try and point the camera at her, she runs a mile. But you are more than welcome to stay. Yeah. So yeah, Mark, you crack it open. It's 2.8%, Mark. Doesn't matter how many beers you've had already today. If you have had beers already today, crack it open. It's a surprising little stout. It really is. I had purple. What's Permal? I had purple Puma shell suit around maybe 1990. Yeah, I can well believe that. Purple shell suits in the 90s were quite a thing. I'm only half Scouse, honest. Trust me, there were Southerners that wore shell suits of purple colours. I was one of those, not myself. Lord's Brewing can't beat a TK Maxx Magic that actually supplied to the British Army. Well, there you go. Is that where they came from, Mark? John, from TK Maxx, those high techs. I'm off to TK Maxx. Quality. I actually really like them. They're very cool. You right, Lollipop?
Yeah.
You're probably only a not with one trainer though, Chris. Probably, the right foot's out of stock, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye, Lollipop. All right, open the door. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Brilliant. Right, we've been going for 2.5 hours, mate. We're all caught up with the comments. I'm quite happy to end it there if you're cool.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Very nice. Cool. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. That's Baz from Barrel to Beer. No idea. You must know who this man is. If you somehow don't know who he is, go and check out all the Beer No Idea. Fantastic channel.
You're too kind, mate. You're too kind.
You've always been a great supporter of my channel, which is massively appreciated. I don't know why my words are going, and I haven't really had many beers either, which is unusual for me on a live. On a live, I smash beers, but when you're hosting, it's different. It's harder to get through them, isn't it?
Good. Got my own back on you.
Yeah, you have. I think I'm getting my words muddled up just because I'm tired. But there you go. Thank you very much. Oh, no, John. See, now there's a comment. So I've just got to click on the comment. No, they're not army surplus. They don't look like they're army surplus, John. They look brown bloody new. Great live. Well done, guys. Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks to everyone.
Comment to David as well. Love the chat. Thanks, guys. Enjoy reading. Thank you very much for sticking with it all evening as well, David. Death by Cocktail is saying thanks, folks. I'm going, otherwise we're just never going to get through it all. And we'll just keep looking at the comments.
Bye.
David Wilson, cheers. Everybody else, I am now going. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care. We'll see you all soon with another live beer review. Take care. Bye now.
Cheers.